Yeah. It looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome welcome all. We're incredibly excited to have you guys here. Like I said, Ignite is a great course for you to take at any time in your real estate career. And there's really four objectives, particularly for today. And that is, how do you become the real estate expert of choice? We're going to talk about lead generation, of course, which should be a part of our everyday activities. I often tell people good morning, Michelle, come on in. We're just getting started. Come on in. I often tell people our one and only job every single day is to lead generate, because without leads, our business just simply doesn't exist, right? So when we get up every morning, that should be our sole objective. Everything else, I promise you, will fall into place. So we're going to talk about lead generation. And then what good is lead generation if you don't also back that up with lead follow-up? And let me tell you, that is where a lot of real estate agents drop the ball, is in the follow-up, right? So what I like to tell the agents that I coach with often is, if you're going to put all the time and effort and energy into lead generation, why in the world wouldn't you make sure that you have a really fantastic airtight lead follow-up system? And I have been one of those agents that was guilty of writing things down in notebooks and on post-it notes that would get lost or misplaced or forgotten about. And so, now that we have things like Command that we can put everything into and create tasks within, it changes everything, or it has changed everything. So we're going to talk about lead gen, lead follow-up, and then the transaction model. So we are going to, here's my clicker, get started here. So our hope is that by the end of Ignite, you'll be on the path to being the real estate expert of choice by, number one, creating a robust value proposition for your business. You need to think about, what is it that sets you apart from other real estate agents when you're having conversations with buyers and sellers, right? Because in the large scheme of things, we all essentially have access to 99% of the same tools, right, in order to run our real estate businesses. So it's not enough just to say, I've got great technology. It's not enough just to say, I'm a hard worker. It's not enough to say, I've been in the business 15 years, right? You have to think about what is going to set you apart. And we call that your value proposition. We're also wanting to develop a lead generation system with a lead generation model that comes from the best-selling book by co-founder at Keller Williams, Gary Keller, and it's called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. We also call it the Red Book, for those of you who aren't familiar with it. So it's often referred to as Red Book or MREA. Also, we've already talked about this, but establishing a lead follow-up system based on the KW Touch plans, which you have access to for free in Command, as well as practicing and perfecting the steps of the real estate transaction to get to a successful closing so that you can get paid. So the goals are to end Ignite with one or more appointments, begin the process of working with a buyer or seller to buy or sell a home, and develop successful habits that will benefit you for your entire real estate career. They say that on average, folks that take every single session of Ignite and really take hold of the instruction and what we're teaching you, if you're really giving it your all, on average are doing an additional 16 transactions a year. So if you're a brand new agent, think about what doing 16 transactions your first year would be. Okay. So Michelle, our average sales price, let's say, is 4.25. I'm going to give you some numbers to put on the board.
Copy that.
All right. My Vanna White over here. So 425 at an average 3% commission is $12,750. I'm just going to times that by 16. It's $204,000 in GCI. Okay, now of course that's before your split. We all know what that is. That's easy. You can take that out pretty quickly. And taxes. But do y'all think that you could use an extra $204,000 before splits and taxes over the next 12 months? Yeah, I mean, I could. Let's say you only did 8. Let's say you did half of that, $102,000. Could that make a difference in the next 12 months for you in whatever your plans are or your vision is? I'm going to guess absolutely it would. Okay, so let that be your focus, and let that be the fire in your belly as you're sitting in these Ignite sessions, thinking about the potential if you just plug in and really, give the time that you spend here with us your all. Okay, so we are going to go over, not in great detail, but I just wanted to give you guys a visual of what the calendar will look like. So we're meeting in here Monday through Friday from 9 to noon for the next 4 weeks. So there's 12 sessions total. So I think we end like that first week of October. It's a great way to end the year as we approach the year. What they say, what you'll hear Coach Michelle and I often say is what we do today, golden star for whoever can answer this. What we do today shows up when. So the activities that we're doing today show up when? 3 months or 90 days from now, right? So we're in September. We're going to be ending in October, November, December, January. So I love taking things like Ignite and Bold in the fall because I know that all of those activities that I'm doing this time of year, and by the way, this is a time of year when a lot of real estate agents slow down or hit the pause button. Why do you think that is?
Because the market's gonna slow down.
Why does the market slow down this time of year, Carrie?
The weather.
Weather. We're already starting to feel that. School.
Michelle
Michelle,
was working hard 3 months ago.
what's that? They weren't working hard 3 months ago because it was summer and we all wanted to be out having fun, right? What else happens around for the end of the year? What's coming up? Holidays, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big Christmas girl. I'm a big Thanksgiving Christmas girl. So I don't take a lot of time off, but I usually take about 10 days off around Christmas. That's just like my time to slow down, reset for the new year, really enjoy time with my family. And so I think there are probably a lot of real estate agents that do that same thing. They slow down around the holidays. Also, too, there is a contingency of real estate agents who fall prey to, so what I'm looking for. I haven't had my caffeine yet, guys, this morning. Yeah. Trying to stick to water and cut down on the caffeine. We'll call it propaganda, right? Agents will often say, you'll hear them say, things get quiet around the holidays, things really slow down. And there is some truth to that. There really is some truth to that. But I choose to look at that a little bit differently. And the way that I look at that is while the quantity or the number of potential leads, clients, buyers and sellers out there are fewer, the quality of those leads are what? They're better. Why do you think that might be? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Because what? They're serious, yes. Because we live in the cold tundra of Minnesota, and when it's 40 below, who wants to go look at a house unless you absolutely have to, right? And so this time of year, and the time of year that we're moving into, typically, we do have fewer buyers and sellers in the market, but the quality of those buyers and sellers is better because it's people that have to be looking, relocating, divorce, death, downsizing, upsizing, whatever the case may be. So, the serious buyers are out there. So, with that, it's a great time for you guys to plug in and be taking this course so that come January, which will be approximately 90 days from the time that we have started Ignite and we end Ignite, your activities that you've been doing should be showing up, which means, let me just say, having been in the business over 20 years, every year's a little different, even despite systematizing things, right? When I first got to real estate, my business was very much like this, huge ebbs and flows, because I didn't have systems in place and I, didn't have that consistency built in. And that should be your goal. And that's one of the things that Ignite will provide you are the tools and the training in order to create a consistent business. So you're still going to have those ebbs and flows, but they're going to be more like this instead of like this, right? And so some of my best years are the years where I've done some pretty intense training, participating in some kind of intense training this time of year, because those activities show up in January, which means I get off to a really quick start at the beginning of the year. And I don't know, it's probably more of a mindset thing, a mentality thing, but when I get off to a really good start in the year, it sort of creates that fire in my belly that carries me through the rest of the year. Versus if things don't take off until like April or May, I feel like, oh my God, it's already April or May. And I feel like I'm kind of behind the 8 ball all year long. So it is very powerful to be able to start the year off strong. All right, so you're going to have 3 hours of facilitated learning. You're going to have some homework that you're going to, do on your own. But suffice it to say, you're gonna be in the classroom here for as many of the sessions as you can make, and we hope you can make them to them all, but certainly understand things will come up. But to get the most out of Ignite, you'll be here Monday through Friday for 3 hours, and then, doing a little bit of homework on your own.
So now I just have a question about, so it says like, after today, it says 2 hours facilitated and then 1 hour success. So is the class actually 2 hours and then the last hour?
Yeah, each instructor, and my clicker's not working. Will you let Drew know? Depending on the instructor, some of them will take the full 3 hours to get through the content.
Okay.
And, oh, you could hear me, I forget. To get through the content, and some of them will allow you some time to work on it in the classroom. So it's really instructor dependent. Thank you. In the meantime, I can use this hand.
It a lot, yeah. There's a lot of days I have meetings, like, so I'd have to leave everybody.
Okay, maybe not. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. All the batteries in my life are running out on me.
It's your energy.
I don't know, my key fob this morning decided not to, or my car decided not to work. Here we go. Okay. So we just talked about this real estate expert, lead generation, lead follow-up, and then we'll go through transaction. All right. All right, so today we begin with real estate expert of choice. That's the first thing that we're going to talk about. And these 4 lessons will set you on your path to success with hopefully the direction, clarity, and enthusiasm that you need. Thanks, Drew. Just battery.
Yeah.
Tell them that all the batteries around me are going out on me today. All right, so today in Spark Your Career, we'll get acquainted with KW and Ignite at a high level. You are going to apply KW culture and your market center's culture into the way that you engage and interact with others. We have something unique here. We like to highlight it and talk about it. You're also going to tap into all the resources that KW offers. We're going to go over some of that. You're going to create a vision for the future and set some goals. What does 2024 look like for you? We should all be thinking about, 2024 and what we're doing leading into the new year that supports that vision. Today will be, let's see. Yeah, so that's today's agenda. All right. Okay. So Ignite instills in all of us a new way of thinking. Hopefully that should be the goal. It's all about having a success mindset and not doubting yourself, or certainly doubting yourself less. There's a lot of self-doubt in this business, which is really easy to fall prey to. That's why it's so.
Or something to people happen.
Yes.
So it's very important to have a support system around you that helps you with that mindset. So it could be 6 months into this, 1 month into it, or 16, 25 years. You're going to struggle with mindset at some point.
Yeah, and that's why, I think sometimes agents wonder, especially ones that are more seasoned, like, why do we have so much training? There's just continual training, and we have training for lots of different reasons, right? We have training because our new folks need to learn how to, run a real estate business. But we also have training because, as Michelle pointed out, at various points and phases in your real estate career, you're going to struggle with mindset, even if you are a really well-seasoned agent. And so it's important for us, because we know it's important for you guys, to be able to have things to tap into when you sort of hit those roadblocks. So today we're going to talk about an unlimited mindset fueled by the 6 personal perspectives. We're going to spend time talking about the 6 personal perspectives and how those apply to your role as a Keller Williams agent. Again, we're going to talk about KW culture and the value of working with KW in your market center. We're going to talk about our KW resources that will set you up for success. Again, your career vision, the daily success system that's going to supercharge your business throughout Ignite and beyond. Any questions on any of that at all? Okay, awesome. Guys, you can take breaks whenever you need it. We will have scheduled breaks at least, every hour on the hour, but if you have to pop out to use the bathroom, get something to drink, take a phone call, something of that nature, just come and go. Yes.
I have
Savannah.
one quick thing about mindset,
Yes, I love it.
since I am still a career agent. I remember one of my first deals, I was trying to do all on my own. So when I came up with something and it just drove me out so bad. And well, thank you, Michelle, is coach and my team, but I remember I called her and just even talking to her about it. She was like, no, honestly, it's gonna be a feeling that's what we need to do. And I literally was like, okay, we're good. And you'll so much better if you're stressed about something, you should go, not another agent, tell a family member, just kind of what's going on, and it seriously helps so much.
Sometimes we just need to talk through it, right? Right? So even seasoned agents, like I have 3 people on speed dial. Right? And I've been in the business for over 20 years. I've coached real estate agents, you know, hundreds of real estate agents for several years. I still have questions, and sometimes I know the answer, but I just need someone else's perspective, or I just need to have that ability to talk through it to be able to get that clarity that you're talking about, Savannah, that you need.
Yep.
And so I hope too, what you guys do while you're spending time with us in Ignite is like build those bonds and relationships with the people that are around you that are in the classroom. I remember as a brand new agent 20 years ago, there were about 4 or 5 of us agents that started around the same time. So we all kind of just created our own little, you know, crew, if you will. And it was nice to be able to commiserate sometimes. We didn't spend too much time in that negative mindset, but sometimes you just need to vent and get it out. So thank you for pointing that out, because it is so important to be able to have those people to go to. Gary Keller says, anyone can do it, not everyone will. Will you? He also says it's simple, not easy. And there's never a truer statement, particularly when it comes to real estate. And what he means by that, when he uses that, it's simple, not easy, is, you know, we have some brilliant minds in this market center, you know, some very well-educated real estate agents. They run the gamut from, you know, high school graduate to, you know, graduate, you know, MBA, and beyond, right? We have a couple attorneys, also that are with us. So some really bright, brilliant minds. At the same time, what I'll say is it's not rocket science, right? Real estate, really, the key to it is being willing to roll up your sleeves and dig in, put in the work, and follow up. So when he says it's simple, not easy, what we do in real estate, I know some days, hear me when I say this, those of us who have been in this business a while, it doesn't always feel easy. We do run into complicated things, but I also tell people there's no such thing as an emergency in real estate. Like not a life or death emergency in real estate, right? Not in our everyday interactions. And although sometimes when you're in the middle of a transaction, if things start to go sideways, it can feel like a real emergency. It really truly isn't. So the reason why he says anyone can do it, not everyone will you, is because where most agents find themselves struggling or where they fail is not being consistent, right? So it's simple, but the not easy part is it's not always easy to be consistent when you're not seeing the fruits of your labor right away. I've seen so many real estate agents quit just before they succeed, And I've also seen lots of real estate agents who I know were this close to quitting that didn't, who are highly successful today. So I often compare real estate to being a farmer. When you're out there doing lead generation every day, you're planting seeds, right? And you can't just, much like a farmer, plant a field full of seeds and then walk away and expect that you're going to wake up one morning and your field is going to be full of crop, right?
Jack and the beanstalk.
Yeah, it's not Jack and the Beanstalk as much as we'd like it to be. You know, if a farmer went out and planted seed and he didn't tend to it, he didn't water it, he didn't weed it, didn't make sure it got sunlight and all the nutrients that it needed, there might be 1 or 2 crops that arise, right? A lot like real estate. If you're not out there doing what you need to be doing on a daily basis, you may just from your own natural talents be able to procure a lead or 2, you know, a couple of buyers, a couple of sellers. That will happen, and it's so nice when that does, when you're not trying or you just get a lead that lands in your lap. That's amazing when it happens. But much like our artiste here, you know, your lead generation is planting those seeds every day. But if you're not following up with that lead generation, if you're not nurturing those leads, if you're not having conversations and reaching out to your sphere continually, then, you know, you're not going to see a field full of crop. But what I tell people is, I promise you, and this does take a little bit of blind faith. if you do the activities that we coach you to do on a consistent basis and push through those moments of fear and anxiety or self-doubt, as long as you are consistent, you will wake up one morning and that field will be full of so much crop, not crap, but crop, that you won't know what to do with yourself. It'll almost be the opposite kind of anxiety, like, oh my God, how am I possibly gonna handle all of this business? So
That's what we're all here for. We're here to help you.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
just
So,
had an agent in the coaching program. I didn't get permission, so. Considering, but working with you, very persistent, always lead generating, always doing that, coming in every week and coaching with me. And all of a sudden, what was the last week or the week before? I don't know what to do, Michelle, help me. I've got somebody I've never even met. They're sitting at Lennar and they need an agent. So we contacted them. And I said, okay, get them under contract, let Lennar know that they're under contract with me. Well, don't you know, he signed them up. And then all of a sudden, the guy that he signed up was trying to move next door. And so he had chicken noodles happening and closing in the next couple of weeks. Like, and they're pretty high end.
yeah,
So, hopefully there's even.
I think it was like between, like $1 million worth of business between a couple of transactions.
I think I think they're right around the 600,000. So just well, what happened with somebody that he knows, whoever.
Shared his name.
Just sharing his name.
Yeah.
And so they were feeling uncomfortable and they called me and said, we need a real estate agent. And he's like, what do I do? And I said, you go get that signed. You go get that stuff signed. So yeah, it's, yeah, and then he had someone else too, because, oh, and somebody else just called out too, and a buyer. So 3 transactions in 1 week.
Yeah, so sometimes, particularly if you're new, it's gonna take a little bit of it's gonna take a little while for the word to get out. But you just have to be consistent in making sure that you're getting the message out, whether it's through social media, whether it's through your sphere, your friends, your family. And eventually things like that will just pop. And really, it just takes 1 or 2 of those kind of deals to really get you rocking and rolling. And then things just kind of take off from there. So thanks for sharing that story. All right, so you're going to want to refer to the participant guide. You guys should have one on the 6 personal perspectives. So would you guys like to know the key to success and abundance? Who in here wants to know? Yeah, okay. I see some heads nodding. Well, it's the 6 personal perspectives, and we're going to spend time going over those today. They are ways that successful people who have come before us think and approach problems or challenges. It's about the mindset that we need in order to be successful. So these came about from Gary Keller's researching successful people in all fields, not just real estate, and asking this question. What is it that differentiates those who achieve at the highest level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? That was the question that he asked. And from the answers, he discovered these common perspectives, these 6 common perspectives. They work in unison, none of them stand alone, and they work most effectively in the order shown up here on the board. And that's the order that we're going to go over these today. So by embracing and committing to all 6 perspectives, that's the key to helping you achieve success in your life and in business. So let's go ahead and explore each one. And the first one is committing to self-mastery. So committing to self-mastery is number 1, first and foremost, know your goals. Number 2, know your strengths and weaknesses. We all have them. Weakness isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially when we recognize what it is, and we can set ourselves up with the tools in order to help either overcome or alleviate those. And then the third one is know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses to seek the mastery necessary to have the knowledge and skills and habits in order to reach your goals. So the first perspective that all high achievers share is that commitment to self-mastery. And notice it's not commitment to mastery, it's commitment to self-mastery. So does anybody know what the difference, between that is, committing to mastery and committing to self-mastery? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Well, most will say that self-mastery is you possessing the knowledge, the skills and the habits that make you the master of you. So that's the difference between self-mastery and just commit to mastery. So throughout Ignite, you guys will be acquiring the skills and developing the habits to be successful, moving toward that. So who here in the room is committed to self-mastery? Raise your hand, right? We should see everyone's hand go up, right? That means really what that means is you're committed to your goals, your strengths and your weaknesses. And who in here, let me ask one more question, is committed to acquiring the knowledge, skills and habits to be successful in business, right? That's why you're all here. Of course you are. So I believe you answered the question for yourself by being here today, and committing to Ignite. So I knew that answer before you even put your hand in the air. So we appreciate you guys being here. All right, so the second perspective is commit to the 80-20 principle. Does anyone want to take a stab? By the way, this is a safe space, zero judgment. Does anyone want to take a stab at what the 80-20 principle is? Anybody want to try and explain what they think that might be? Carrie's smiling.
Letting other have.
Okay, I was
other
gonna say,
people.
you look like the cat that swallowed the canary. She knows the answer. So it has it right up here on the board. And what that means is that 20% of your actions, so your daily activities, the goal should always be that 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results, right? So the idea that 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results may be one of the most powerful principles that you can apply to your life. It helps you maximize your time and leverage your time. It's about getting the most from your time and effort, and it's about maximizing your results. And it's about having focus, being focused, which sometimes can be, not sometimes, oftentimes can be a challenge in this business. You hear us use the word squirrel or shiny object a lot. There are a lot of squirrels and shiny objects in real estate. And so it can be challenging sometimes to be focused on the activities that remain focused on the activities that you know you should be doing on a daily basis. So you will sometimes hear that 20% of the activities described as big rocks. You also hear that term, or your one thing. You hear us talk about that. I like to refer to the 20% activities as your dollar productive activities. Like, what are the income producing activities? Those are what should be leading to 80% of your results. So
You guys know what's the most important.
well, let me ask this. What would you guys guess is the most dollar productive activity of any real estate agent? Generating leads. What else? Michelle's gonna write them down here. What else is a dollar producing activity of a real estate agent?
Open houses.
Open houses. What else?
Facebook, marketing.
Facebook marketing. So you guys see a theme. We started with lead generation. Now Carrie's giving us different types of lead generation. Give us some others. Because what we want to do is identify the lead generation activities that help you. So open houses, Facebook ads. What else? Savannah? Cold calling. What else? Farming.
Yeah, what is farming?
Farming is picking a neighborhood you'd like to live in and continually touching the people who live there, whether it's through flyers, door knocking, neighborhood events. I guess hybrid farming is kind of a mix of all those, you're kind of doing them each side.
Okay. What else? What other things do you think real estate agents do in order to generate leads?
Networking groups or.
You're really good. I see you at, all kinds of networking business managers, right? And, something that I failed to, acknowledge, or I guess I was a slow learner when I first got into the business was, being social in a business aspect is just as important as being social on the personal side. I'm a high I, so, you know, I like the personal side, right? I like the business side too, but I didn't go to as many like, chamber events, or there's lots of different organizations out there that you can participate in as well, which was so short-sighted of me because when you're in those environments and you're surrounding yourself with other business people who aren't in real estate and they are accustomed to seeing you, running into you, bumping into you, who do you think they're gonna think of when they bump into a friend or a family member that's about real estate? Probably you. I feel like you do a really nice job of doing both of those personal and, is there a favorite, type of event that you attend that you think would be good for people to know about?
Well, I mean, I kind of do a mix of, I did like Woodbury Days, or like thinking about having food next year. At that event, I mean, I also go to estate sales and just like, oh, is this house, on the market yet? And just garage sailing. And so kind of wherever I go and things I like to do.
You're always thinking about real estate.
Oh, yeah, I'm always like, we did a neighborhood event, where I live a couple weeks ago, and this lady was like, "You're always on, aren't you?" I go, "Yeah." It's always like in the back of my head, but I bring it up conversational, I'm not like, "Hey, do you wanna, are you gonna be selling?" Just kind of start a conversation.
Yes, Savannah.
Another thing, kind of going off that two events, obviously, like your five events, but then in Michelle done events where if you're inviting anyone, basically we posted on Facebook events for people to come to, and not to go for brewery you're at.
Awesome.
Don't be a secret agent.
Don't be secret agent, and also to tap into the events that the Market Center puts on. So I mean, I sold real estate for years without doing any sort of real estate event to my sphere, which was a huge mistake in retrospect. And what held me back was, in my mind, I had created a story. And the story I had created was, well, that sounds really expensive. Can I afford to spend money on that right now? And the other thing was, because I was a single agent, like, how can I possibly find the time to coordinate an event and put on an event, right? And, once I started looking into it, of course, it wasn't nearly as overwhelming as I had created it to be in my mind. And you can also be very, cost sensitive. Back then, the office that I was attached to didn't really have any events that we could tap into. And so one of the things that we've done over the last year and a half is we've been very purposeful about creating events for our agents that are just like, they hit the easy button and really all they have to do is invite their sphere, and there's very little, if any, cost. So our next one that I can think of that's coming up is our trunk or treat. Did you say
Well,
something?
$1,000.
Oh,
giveaway.
yeah, the $1,000
That does
giveaway,
cost
$50 to enter that.
$50 to enter that, but if you're looking for something that does not cost.
Yeah,
money
Drew.
would be our first.
Yeah, and Drew creates all of the media and graphics for the $1,000 giveaway, so it quite literally is an easy button. Are there folks in here that have participated in that before? Probably attest to, yeah, it's super easy. Trunk or treat is gonna be coming up. That's a Halloween event that the office puts on. The only thing that costs you is whatever candy you decide to give away, and if you wanna decorate your trunk and participate. We do pictures with Santa, pictures with Easter Bunny, there are all sorts of things that you, like, if you just looked at what our events for the year were, and in your first couple of years of real estate, or just if you are a seasoned agent who hasn't done any events yet on your own, if you just plugged into the events that we do throughout the year, I have to believe if you really worked those events and you send it out to your sphere, you would probably do an additional 6 to 8 transactions a year, just from that alone. And then in addition to that, our agents do some things, on their own that's not hosted by the Market Center, like pie giveaways. And again, don't let that stop you from thinking, well, that sounds really expensive. What if I have 50 people show up and I have 50 pies to give away? Here's what we tell people. On average, I want to say, let's say an agent has a database of 100 people and everybody gets an invitation to pie before Thanksgiving. Typically, I think once that the percentage of people that show up is maybe 40%. So let's say you have 50 and let's go 50%. 25 people showed up at Costco, $5-6 a pie. It's more reasonable than you think. It's something, a small gesture like that goes such a long way for people. They're like, wow, how kind. My real estate agent, reached out to me and I get to go pick up a pumpkin or apple pie for Thanksgiving for the family. So Ignite, we identify your 20% for you. We started a list there. We'll be talking more about other lead generation activities that you guys can do. And when you commit to those lead generation activities, it will make you more money. You'll have more time with your family because we're also going to teach you how to systematize and get organized. So pretty great, huh? All right, awesome. Moving along.
And we also have classes on all of these things too, so there's even diving deeper into each one of these as well. Erin does a really great open class that we haven't recorded, you guys can look at it and watch it. Next time she does it live, but yeah, we have all of these things that are recorded for the class.
Okay. Has anyone ever heard the term go from E to P? And do you know what that means? E to P. Carrie, yep. So we're going from entrepreneurial approach to a purposeful approach, okay? And so the third perspective that top performers recognize and understand is how you move from that E to P. All of us can attain a certain level of success utilizing our own natural abilities. We talked about that earlier, right? Just with your own natural abilities, you'll find a piece of business or two. And we can also expect to hit a ceiling at some point, right? Because I'm not high I and I'm also high D, it means that I like people. And the high D is I'm very driven. And so I'm a hard worker where I lack in talent, I make up for in grit. I'm a hard worker. And so I was very fortunate when I first got into the business, and my real estate business took off very, very quickly because I'm chatty Cathy and I worked really hard, right? And I had a lot of success in that. In retrospect now, that hindered me more than it helped me, even though I was Rookie of the Year that year, and here's why. All of the business I got my first 2 years in the business was just off of my own raw natural talent because I wasn't afraid to talk to people and I wasn't afraid to work hard. Well, that only got me so far. And about year 3, I started to hit major burnout because I couldn't figure out why I wasn't picking up clients as quickly as I had been the first 2 years, right? So that is a prime example of your natural abilities will only get you so far. And if you don't continue to evolve and learn and move from that entrepreneurial approach to being more purposeful in your everyday activities, your business is going to flatline at some point, or you're going to burn out, or likely both. Likely both things are going to happen. So let's see, an example that they give here is, let's say as a kid, you got really good at doing cartwheels and flips. Did having that natural ability allow you to perform in a circus? Probably not. Most likely the answer would be no. You would need to practice and work with a coach for some time before you could perform in a circus. It's the same with real estate. Sure, there are things that you could go out and do and probably complete, but without lots of practice and coach, we all hit a ceiling of achievement by relying on our natural abilities alone. The way you break through that ceiling of achievement is to get really purposeful. So it's going from that E to P, and it means focusing on models and systems. That's one of the things that Keller Williams is known for, widely, is our models and systems that can help organize you and your tasks so that you can be the most efficient and effective possible. So does anyone in the room have an example of a time when they reached a ceiling of achievement that you don't mind sharing? Maybe an example of what I just described? Anybody? Whether it's sports or business, Michelle?
Oh, when I was born, I didn't know how to walk. And so I practiced a lot and then I was walking.
Same with talking,
And
same
then
with driving.
I wasn't born with skills either, and then I practiced, and I mean, it's that simple. We were all born, right? Everything that we've achieved to this point, we've practiced and we've become good at it. And I'm good at walking, I stumble, but I still get up and go again, right? I mean, that's simple. If you all do have an example, either you're being shy and you don't want to share it, or you're just having a hard time this morning without the campaign. Just thinking about what it is, but
It sounds funny and we giggle, but isn't that interesting when you think about that, right? I mean, and I've heard that before, and just even hearing her say it again, like things that we take for granted. Most of us in the room probably have driver's licenses, right? You had to practice and learn how to drive at some point. And so throughout our lives, there have been all kinds of those instances. And so I think a lot of times agents will beat themselves up, or they will suffer from what we call analysis paralysis. Like they fail to move forward because they're over analyzing everything. I suffered from this myself. And it took me much longer than it should have to put a listing presentation, or to feel really confident in listing presentations, because I didn't put a listing presentation together. And the reason why I didn't put a listing presentation together right away is because I didn't know how, and I wanted it to be perfect, and so I would just wing it, which worked for me sometimes. But I became much better at getting listings once I put that listing presentation together and started utilizing it. So I could not have done that without asking for help or without, practicing. So don't be shy. Yes, Savannah.
One thing I've noticed too, that when I start making things like this and presentations, or I'm making like Google Docs for systems, stuff like that, is as I'm working through a transaction, things pop in my mind, oh, I should add that, oh, I should add that, and you just continue to make it more robust. It doesn't.
Absolutely, absolutely. If there's one, I have so many pieces of advice, but an important piece of advice, I know. I just want to like vomit it all over you. An important piece of advice is, just do it. It's even like when we put the video room together in the office, right? And again, I was one of those people where I'm like, no, like my hair has to be perfect, my words have to be perfect, the message has to be perfect, before I put out a video. Again, Carrie, I just, this morning, as I'm getting ready, I saw a video with you and Steve and the guys. And I can't tell you how much joy it brings me when I see our agents posting videos. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do it. And, oh, by the way, your audience doesn't want it to be perfect. They don't want it to sound over rehearsed. They like to see the genuineness. They like to see the what do they call it? The what takes the outtakes. Yeah, the outtakes. Like I love those when people post videos and then they have like the outtakes either at the beginning or the end. Those are like the first ones I'll click on because they make me laugh. And we should all have that sense of humor about this business and ourselves. Like we can't take it too seriously. I don't know about you guys, but I like to do business with people that are fun, that know what they're doing. And so don't overthink it. Don't allow yourself to to fall prey to that analysis paralysis. But when I stop and think about people that have gotten into the business that I meet with as they're getting into the business, a lot of them left a salaried job or a career. And the reason why they tell me that they're thinking about transitioning into real estate is because they feel like they hit a ceiling, or maybe they weren't promoted to a position that they thought that they should have, or maybe they were downsized and laid off. So high achievers are always looking for a purposeful way. So by doing this, they break through that ceiling of their natural behavior. They're challenging themselves. So I would imagine, wouldn't you guys all like to achieve success and break through that ceiling? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. How about living a larger life? Who in the room would like to be living a larger life? Yep. All of us. So Ignite is not only designed to help start your business, but it helps you grow your business. It'll also help you move from that entrepreneurial approach to the purposeful approach with mindset, model, systems, and breakthroughs. So
I have a
Anything you
good
want to
question. I have a good
Yeah.
coaching question for you.
Yeah.
So here's that ceiling. And, some people, you were saying about the ceiling and not to salary job because of that ceiling or what have you. If you're not breaking through this, who's breaking the ceiling? When you're a real estate agent, you're in charge of you, right? So pay attention when you're not moving forward. Why have you created a ceiling for yourself?
Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to take our first break. I know we just got started, but I have to hop on a coaching call. So Coach Michelle is going to take over. And then I will be back. She won't have a Vanna. I can't be her Vanna for this next part, but she'll be amazing. I'm sure of it. So why don't you guys go ahead and take like a 10-minute break, fill up on your coffee, go to the bathroom, and then she'll get started at 10 o'clock with the fourth perspective, making being learning based the foundation of your action plan. All right.
I better write them all up.
Oh, okay. Do you have them?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. I'll be back.
Have a good call.
Yes.
You don't have to go to the bathroom or anything, or? You don't need any hydration or anything?
Great reminder.
Hi, Bill, how are you?
Too much, Bill, how are you?
Good. I know Savannah and your wife know you, but this is Tara and Grayson, so this is Bill.
Yeah, how are you? I'm Bill. Nice to meet you guys.
So they are getting their license. Mhm. 10 hours, Tara has 10 hours left. And she'll be coming on board, I think Boss Harwood team.
Sweet.
And Grayson is on board with us and diving in right away, so.
Good.
Mhm.
I've been on this side of this class 2 or 3 times, and then I've become an instructor for one of the sessions.
You are teaching this session, aren't you?
Yeah, 18.
Oh, so toward the end,
Towards the end.
okay.
But even that, I'm trying to switch because it's the same day as Market's business plan for 2024.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
let's go talk to
day.
Dan today and figure that out.
So so what he's talking about is we are, you have the option of signing up for, it's off. I was gonna say off
Off
campus. But there's a gentleman, John Prescott, coming into town and he, has a business planning clinic. That he's gonna be doing for us, so it's a 9 AM to 4 PM. What's the cost of it?
I think it's $99.
$99, but it is on that Wednesday.
Stay the board.
Yeah, October 4th. Mhm.
Yeah, so
It's the last week.
I'll help you figure that one out.
Mhm. So it's good and yeah.
And one thing I wanted to talk to the two of you about with Ignite, since you're super close to being licensed, and I know you are too, but there is time in other sessions where there's going to be time that agents start making phone calls for like 30 minutes. And so because you aren't technically an agent, you can't say that. It is an amazing time though for you to start updating your database, getting that ready. So when other agents are calling for business, you should be making calls to those that either A, you've lost touch with, so to start reconnecting, or to start going through your contacts, getting people's emails, their addresses, say, I'm getting into real estate, I'm networking right now, updating all of my contacts, I'd love to add you to my list.
Yeah.
So those are the types of calls that you can spend your time on, and it won't be a waste whatsoever. That way, when you have your license, your database is ready.
Yeah.
And we can really hit the ground running.
Yeah, and so you guys will be coaching with me, so you'll be working with myself and Drew really closely. He'll be doing like your tech stuff and helping you download your contacts from your phone, from Facebook and stuff and getting them into command. And then, we'll be working one-on-one, maybe some scripts, what you would say to them or. And it's really simple. We call them scripts, but we're trying to transition that to stay conversation because it's really what they are. You just kind of have to know what the outline looks like, right? Like, all of a sudden, somebody who you've been friends with forever and you're in your mind are going, I'm calling about real estate, I don't even know what to say, right? So you're just having a conversation and letting them know it's the new chapter in your life and it's what you're doing. Mhm. Really easy, and we will work on that and we'll have conversations and make it flow really nicely. You guys are coming into a great time of the year because we have so many events coming up that you're able to invite your sphere to and invite them to this environment and let them see what you're doing and see how we service people and how we give back and the culture.
Yeah.
Are you and your dad talking about being a team?
We are, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. We'd love for the two of you to also pick the brains of Scott Stebbing and his son-in-law, Andy Lockwood. They
Okay.
are right down the hallway too, right from my
Sure.
office there. So yes, they are growing rapidly.
They are.
Mhm. So, it's awesome. And yes, Boz Harwood, Tara is an amazing team. Yeah, love them, love that they're here. Good, yes, right down the hallway, just around this, basically on the other side. So good, and I know that this can get a little overwhelming, just take your time and, read through it. Because we can dive so deep into each one of those. Just kind of give you the hop of it right now. And so, as we move forward and we become more one-on-one coaching and stuff, by all means, you can say, Michelle, let's look back to what that, let's coach on this and talk to this a little bit more. We can.
Yeah, because the site is like part of the complex, so that.
Yeah, is it not in there?
Oh, maybe it is, yeah, I haven't done that part.
There's 20 classes altogether.
Okay.
It should be, was it in the front? Here, you have your phone, Tara, I can go back. Why? I thought it was on here.
Oh, it's not this to my house, it's here.
Here they all are.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
20 classes. So it's basically Monday through Friday. So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is like the sections that they're in.
Oh, so.
Yeah. So Bill will be teaching negotiate offers and we're just looking at it. So in session 1, 2, etc. Okay, you can take a picture of that if you'd like to, or if it's right in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So these will be good too, and as we move forward with coaching and stuff, you guys, we can dive into each of these a little bit deeper as well. Okay, well, everybody's here, so I guess we can get going. I'm at that spot in my eyesight that I can't even see this right here, but I can see that and everything else. I just can't see this.
I got progressive lenses for the first time in my life and I'm still struggling and I don't think they're set right, so I gotta do that.
Carrie, I have gone 3 different progressive ones and they just make me kind of like,
Well, you feel like,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
they're kind of.
yeah, I don't like them. Then they gave me one contact, to, so it's good, but sometimes when my eyes get tired, I get a little like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's not okay either. So Grayson, look at, you have about 30, 40 years before you get this,
Yeah.
but, so good on you. Right, Savannah too. Yeah, you guys have that eyesight that, yeah, the rest of us are all putting our cheaters on going, ah. Yeah.
For 2020, so.
I just got.
So I had that LASIK done, oh gosh, in the
Oh,
90s.
see, I had LASIK, well, 20 years ago.
Yeah, and then it was really, really great until about 10 years ago. All of a sudden I couldn't see anything. I'm like, dang. I mean, I can see very far away.
Oh.
If I was a hunter, I'd probably be very good at it,
Oh.
but I can't see close now. So then I wonder if they went to fix that, would I be evening out now? You know, the things you think about late at night that keep you up. So anyway, so we'll, see, I can't even like see that with this on, so now I look like Grandma Claus or something. So, so the 4th personal perspective is, make being learning based the foundation of your action plan. So, a learning-based individual appreciates learning in their own environment. What they know is what they know, and know that there is always more to come. So how many of you have watched Ted Lasso?
And have you got to the final goodbye scene? Okay, darn it. Well, that is your homework. Because I was gonna share something with you from this morning, but anyway, it's a really great. It's about learning and wanting to be better people, and how do you become better people? And they all talk amongst themselves, and they're in that Diamond Dog Club or whatever, is it Doggy Diamonds or whatever it is, and they all sit in their office and they share things. It's a safe space for them to share. And one of them says, because the question is I've tried for a year now to be a better person, and I just don't feel like I can change. And so everybody was talking, and then somebody said, well, I just feel that if you continue to grow, if you ask questions, be open to the answers, and then you just become a little bit better every day. It's not a major switch or change. You're not somebody else. And why would you want to be somebody else? You know, it's just growing to be the best version of you. So being learning based, I think, is kind of where that falls in. You know, like Erin was saying before, analysis by paralysis, or that saying, no one knows what perfect is, right? You can sit and spin your wheels and make something perfect, try and make it perfect, and it never gets out there, right? Well, whoever you're delivering it to, how are they supposed to know what perfect is? They don't. So exactly what you deliver is perfect to them, because they don't know any different. So when you're doing that listing presentation or that buyer consult, they don't know anything different. So how is that for a coaching moment? Any questions on being learning based and what that means? I mean, you all are here, so
Yeah, I'm like,
it's learning based. Yes,
being in real estate for years and
years, and
here we
then
are.
newer people and seasoned agents. Yep. Mhm. Albert Einstein, I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Have you guys ever read that poem, The Curious Child? Yeah. I love curious children. I love curious people. That's how we
I'm
get.
curious, but I'm certainly not over it.
Yeah. So when you think about, as you're going out and you're not being a secret agent, and moving forward, just keep asking questions. Keep asking questions of the people that are about to entrust you in their largest investment that they're going to make. It's okay. Just keep asking questions.
One thing that I heard, I can't remember where it was, but it's like, come from curiosity.
Absolutely. Mhm. That's a big one in Keller Williams.
Yeah.
It's always come from curiosity. When, somebody says something about a certain house or whatever, just keep asking questions. Well, how did that come about? Or, I don't know, Carrie, can you think of anything specific?
Just kind of, like you're always looking for in conversation, someone saying, oh, I hate where I live. It's like, well, why do you hate where you live?
Yeah.
Is it, you're paying too much, you're renting, your rent's too high, or you don't like
Right.
because you can't just let your dog out the door. So
Right.
just like kind of digging in
Mhm.
to comments people make.
Exactly. Yeah. So just remaining in curiosity and finding their truth, right? So they don't always say exactly what they mean. So you have to dig a little bit deeper to find out exactly what it is, or as close to. Okay, so the fifth is remove your limiting beliefs. When you unlimit your thinking, you unlimit your success. Limiting beliefs might be one of these three things. I don't have enough time for training. I can't be successful in this market. I can't devote 3 hours each day to lead generation. Any of those ring true? Have you ever said those things to yourself, like, but look at the 6 of you are here. You're devoting 3 hours today. to become learning based and hopefully get a little nugget of something. What are some other limiting beliefs?
Interest rates are too high.
Mm-hmm,
Nobody gets anyone that opens.
mm-hmm. Savannah, you got anything?
Now the market's like,
Mhm. These aren't just your limiting beliefs, but these are objections you have to get over with clients too. Exactly what Bill and Michelle just said. These are things that are coming from buyers and clients, right? Like, oh my gosh, the interest rates we're gonna wait until it's 3% again. Well, you'll be renting probably the rest of your life, but you know. So that's, you have to continue to have conversations around that and learn a little bit more, dig a little bit deeper, like what does that mean to you? What if the interest rate never goes lower anymore and it only goes up maybe 9%, 10%, 14.99%? What will that look like for you?
So I listen to people when they talk about not buying rates too high, like if I hear myself. It's enough that it's okay to buy, but it's like I must convince myself that I just keep saying that. They lose refinance.
Right.
Telling them facts, but I'm also thinking, okay, I gotta lose money, what I'm actually saying.
Yeah. So how can you help yourself believe what you're actually saying? Yeah, just gain more knowledge, talk to more, loan officers and things like that. You just have to keep getting information so you are knowledgeable about what you're saying to get over your buyers and your sellers' objections. Let's see here. Any other, yeah, Savannah.
I think that kind of goes into curiosity as well. I mean, if your client is saying they truly give it a live or they can do another winter doubling, stuff like that, I mean, with the interest rate being high, it still might make sense to do it, it might go maybe up to buy with a, higher interest rate,
Yeah,
the motivation.
yeah, it's,
motivated.
Yeah.
Well, if you're renting now, it's like, well, you're throwing all your money away.
it's 100%. You're throwing 100% of your money away.
Versus investing and making money down the road.
Right.
Like even right now, do you want to get out of your rental and buy a home where there's not as much competition right now? These are still down, or do you wait till spring? Yes,
Oh, yeah.
interest rates might be down, but are you gonna be offering this
Oh,
much
right,
over
more.
no inspection and
Yeah.
the home's prices might go up and then your monthly payment's still gonna be higher, your interest rates do go down a little bit, so it's.
Yeah,
And you will have spent the last 4 to 6 months giving somebody else your money.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you waiting until spring? That,
Yeah, and if the right house comes, a lot of times I'll just say, well, we can keep an eye on the market. If the right house comes along, then
Mhm.
jump on it. If not,
exactly, exactly.
I think to me, people from limiting beliefs is expand the pie. We're not stuck with the plate being this big, right? We're not all having this. Get creative, right?
Mhm.
If we can't close because of this, well, expand the pie, don't be up and get creative.
Exactly.
We find another solution for that.
How can we make it a win-win for everybody?
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. So, throughout Ignite, you will learn how to combat your limiting beliefs. You'll learn how to talk about objections and get over those for your clients, which in fact then helps you as well. So let's see here. And the 6th one is be accountable. How many people, when I say be accountable, does that go, "Ugh," or do you go, yes? What is that word accountable? Does it make you feel joyful or does it make you feel like heavy? Uncomfortable? Heavy? Yeah, why?
Seems like a lot of stuff. At once.
Yeah. What else? Talk a little bit more about that.
Don't want to let your, I guess, when you're accountability partner, if there is something that you know you can do, then go to them at the end of the day and say, oh, I didn't do it. And then it's like, why didn't I do it? And it's,
Yeah, But let's turn that a little bit. How can that be helpful for you?
Can get you to do
Why
things
didn't you do
wouldn't
it?
Normally do.
Yeah.
I mean, like the videos, you know, that Erin mentioned, my colleague Dana and I have been doing videos, and he is the one that like wanted to do them and initiated them, and
Mhm.
he records them, and without him being involved in the picture, I wouldn't have done it.
Right. Mhm. Right. It's always,
So,
for me, it's so nice to have an accountability partner. I reached out to somebody 2 weeks ago and I developed a training calendar for my walking. And I was like, I wasn't doing it. And I was finding everything else, maybe watching Ted Lasso again and again, or bloopers on something again and again. It's like, so I sent her the training calendar, and guess what? We have been walking, and it's almost becoming a competition because I only had to walk 1.5 miles the other day. And she said, oh, I got 1.67. And I'm like, oh, no, you didn't. So I got out there with my watch on, like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, 2.01. And she's like, game on, okay, that's a healthy competition because we're only getting better, right? We laugh about it, like, she's like, okay, whatever. And then, but so accountability can be super fun too. You just pick the right person, and it's okay not to have your stuff done, but know what got in your way and why did it get in your way? Did you let it get in your way, or did it have to get in your way for something? Remain curious, even with yourself. Like, why did I stop that? Why did I feel like this was more important than doing that? Why did I feel like I didn't need to lead generate today? Is it okay that I don't have money in 90 days? Am I Mrs. Moneybags now all of a sudden and I don't need to lead generate? It's never okay for me not to lead generate. We're in a commission-based job. We rely on our lead generation for our livelihood. So I'm just gonna say, get out there and do it, and choose something that's fun for you. If it is doing open houses, grab all of them. Do 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Take a couple days off during the week, whatever it is. Open houses can be fun, especially if you're a high I like Erin and I. Love meeting people and seeing people. Some people love farming or cold calling. I know some people that love just a boom, 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 call. And they're very like this with it. They have a dialer, they have a triple dialer, the one gentleman that I know, and it just dials for him. Those are pretty expensive, but he is just like, it calls everybody on that list for him. And when they pick up, he says, hi, this is so-and-so from Keller Williams. I'm just wondering if you are ready to invest, buy, or sell in real estate. Nope, you're not. Boom. Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Dials the next person. He's like this. And don't you know, he sells so much every year because there are people out there that just want to get to the point. Yes, I am. And then there's people that I'm more like chatty Kathy, and I want to know about you, and I want to know about your family, and we're going to be forever friends. And, so the dialer doesn't work for me, but it does for some people. So you're going to try a few of these things out. Okay. So being accountable, I'm going to challenge you all to find the good in being accountable. Change that mindset. Don't let it feel heavy. Don't let it feel like that, because that's not what it's about. It's about you being successful. And how good does that feel every day when all of a sudden you're walking that 2 miles, you're making 20 phone calls, you feel so good. Think about the things that you've done in your life that you've had to be accountable for. Anybody in here play sports? Ever in your life? Ever, even when you were wee? Okay, so how did it ever feel? Like you get done with practice and you just ran 1 mile or 2, or I was a soccer player and I ran track, so I'm always going to bring up running. But it always feels good after you're done. Does it always feel good when you're in that locker room and you're like, oh my God, I got 5 miles to run today. I don't want to do that, right? But think about it. You get it done and you're like, oh yeah, all right. I'm that much closer to achieving my goal. So I think, who is it? Isn't it somebody in Keller Williams bill that says, or Carrie, that says, eat the frog? That's why they do the lead generation in the morning.
Oh,
Like you set yourself up for success. Is it Jeff Glover? Who says that?
I've heard.
Eat the frog in the morning. Now, if you like frog legs, that's cool, but I am not, yeah. Yeah, do what you don't want to do in the morning. Find out what time of your day you are the most productive and do your lead generation at that time. Do your job at that time.
Wasn't it seven?
Kevin?
Seven. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like I've heard it at family reunion or mega camp, which for you guys, Grayson and Tara, those are two things that we have, big Keller Williams events that we have every year.
What's behind the scenes?
Eat the frog. So people, yeah, eat the frog. Means get the stuff done right away that you do not want to do. I mean, I would never eat a frog, so.
Frog legs.
Ew, yeah, no, not even that, Carrie. I'm not even doing that.
Either.
Yeah. And one thing, you guys, accountability, find yourself an accountability partner, even in here, find yourself somebody to work with and check in. And if you're having a hard time with the homework or don't understand it, talk to somebody, ask questions. I encourage you guys to start working with each other and saying, I don't really understand what Michelle was saying up there. What does that mean? Well, this is what I took it to mean. Talk to each other. You guys, we're in a culture that we just help each other. Especially, I love this office and the culture here. And we'll get into culture a little bit later in this module, but yeah, there is not competition in this office. We help each other. So it's really great, especially because we're all individual players and it's really awesome. You always want to see your neighbor succeed and you help them do that. So, all right. So moving along. Oh, this is something that I wanted to say in here too. I highlighted it. A person who is accountable in their 20% says, I own my life. And in certain areas, I want to continually improve my results. I will be purposeful and I will be learning based to continue improving. That's pretty similar to what the guy in Ted Lasso said, so. And also a big thing, as Gary Keller has said numerous times, and you'll hear it throughout, no one succeeds alone. Until this year, I was an individual agent. We've got Nikki over here, that's a transaction coordinator. She's on my team. Jana's on my team because she puts everything into the MLS. Anne is our MCA. She makes sure I get paid, and we get paid very quickly compared to a lot of other brokerages. I mean, typically it's that day or the day after. I've got Drew on my team because Drew does all of the technology. I've got Bill and Michelle right over there. Like, you guys, I need help with this. Kevin Sutton, the first time I did land, Kevin, can you help me with this? I didn't know what to fill out. Carrie and Payman are always really fun to watch their videos and stuff. So it's okay. We're a whole team. Our brokerage is a team. Keller Williams is a team. Okay. Reach out, ask questions. And then embrace being accountable. Find a mentor, a coach, a partner to help you. Be accountable and be happy. We all are leaving something else or growing and, coming into this. This is a fun career. Think about all the people that you've met and maybe have become friends now, or it can really be a very rewarding career on many different levels. So embrace it and be happy, and we'll get you through all of the things that aren't so happy all of the time. Okay, so moving along. Happiness is not an individual sport. How true is that? How many times have you sat in a room and just went like, I'm laughing and laughing and laughing? It's usually about something you saw, which included somebody else, right? I mean, when I do breathing exercises, I don't go, I love how my breathing's so funny. It's not individual. Happiness involves all of us. Any ahas from what we've talked about, the 6 personal perspectives?
I guess with my ahas that I just like to hear that it's physical, not easy. So I will do the things for it. Everyone for it. And stuff like that.
For all of your.
And then probably like.
Does anybody know why? They're really like that? What are you doing? Right.
So to say it. I just want so many people.
Is, you're the one that cares, but they don't mean that they took it. My thoughts. Well, you know. Between me. Oh, no, they do. Just do it. Do it. No, you go. Who's to say? You know, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really was doing it.
I go, you need to change that. I said, no, you want.
Just do it. Yeah, it's
Because you don't
simple
be
and
perfect,
powerful.
it's very simple.
Yeah,
Very simple.
I've had that sitting down by my office. Just like, don't think about it, don't like put it on another day. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Just pick up the phone. Just call your friend. Guess what I'm doing now? I'm doing real estate and I'm pretty stoked about it. When I first was getting my license, I called my brother and I said, so I'm thinking about getting my real estate license. So little background, my brother had, because he's retired from that now, a contracting business. And so often he'd call me and say, oh, can you come and do some sheetrock for me? I need somebody to tape and mud. Oh, my painter just quit. Can you come and paint this? Oh, Michelle, okay, I have to get this roof done. Can you come up on the roof and help me roof? I mean, I've done everything except electrical and plumbing. Okay, I take that back. I did a little sprinkler system, underground sprinkler system. So I did a little bit of plumbing, but not too much. So I called him and I said, I'm thinking about getting my real estate license. And he had me on speaker and he and my sister-in-law both went, it is about time. That is not what I was expecting. So you never know when you make that phone call. Don't have those limiting beliefs that they're just going to hang up on you or say things or whatever. It doesn't matter. You might be very pleasantly surprised, and often you will be. So make sure you tell everybody that you know what you're doing. So we've gone through a new way of thinking. Now we'll go into the KW culture, which I touched on just a little bit. I think I'm kind of looking at you guys because you're newer. We have lived the culture and we continue to live it. So, so Keller Williams is really big on mindset. And so we also have big models and systems that are based on proven success strategies from those people that have succeeded before us. So you'll find as you move through Keller Williams, there's a lot of training and a lot of stuff that people that you'll be able to listen to that have been exactly, well, clearly where you are today. So, so we do have on when you get into command, and these guys you know, they can pull up their command right now and there's a little tab next to it and it says connect. And so we can get into, all of these are things that we have at Keller Williams that are part of our culture. Do you know what the MVVBP is? It's our mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives. Mhm. So, our mission is to build careers worth having. You guys know the rest of it?
Lives, work,
To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. So that is Keller Williams' mission. Which will then, of course, tell you how much they do to build us up. So we are living that mission. And then we get into, we have Red Day, and Red Day is really fun. That's in May. So Mo Anderson, it started on her birthday. Is that correct? Yeah, her birthday. And then I think it kind of switches. I think it's always that Thursday, isn't it? That Thursday of the week of her birthday. She's really quite a giver. Yeah, yeah, she's really quite the giver. And so we call it Red Day. So we really, the office is basically shut down and we go out and we give back to the community. So we have raked yards, we have pulled weeds, we have on food shelves, we have reorganized, this last year, Michelle, what did we do? We were at the Coats, we were at the place in St. Paul Park, and we reorganized Coats from a coat drive. So they had the 4 Ts and the 5 Ts, all in different areas. Then we did something else after that, didn't we? Oh, and we did, the food, what was that place right across over here at that church? And remember the people would come and then they'd say 1 milk or 2 milks, and we got them boxes of food. Like it's a food shelf and people could drive through. So that's what we do on Red Day. It's really fantastic. I love doing that. And if I ever won the Powerball, I'd probably do that for the rest of my life, is to do things like that. KW Cares is we do that here in the office. You have the KW Cares is a 501c3, so that means it's a nonprofit that serves KW associates and their families during hardships, a lot. So when that my family has received it 2 years ago. But a big thing is that in Texas, when that hurricane hit down there, imagine being an agent down there and you have 6 listings and they're all gone. It's devastating for those families, right? Those are our emergencies in real estate, is what you do for those families. Or the agents. Right? How are we gonna?
Jump in for a second.
Yeah.
This, and one of the coolest things, I've been with Keller Williams for almost 10 years, and like most agents, I interviewed with other brokerages, co-working, Centuries, one block, all the different ones. And from the first time I walked into old building across the street, you could feel the vibe. You could see that the culture was in the right spot. And it was, I think it was that first year I was there, big hurricane hit New Orleans.
Yeah,
We were
Katrina.
supposed to have mega camp, like we do every year down in Austin. And mega camp is usually right around this time of year when the hurricanes happen. And they diverted everyone from mega camp over to New Orleans to help with just everything. Yeah, just everything.
Yeah,
And
clean
now,
up, yeah.
you never heard any of the agents complain about doing it. It
Oh.
was just, this is what we.
They
do.
were in waders, you know,
Yeah.
digging things out of people's basements and, Yeah, there was
That
not,
was such a cool thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they literally canceled mega camp.
And shipped
diverted
everybody over.
Thousands of agents to help. I mean, it was- I wasn't there, but I saw it and I was like,
I
Oh my
wasn't
God.
there either, but the
Shows.
impact, yeah,
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 it shows it, and I'm thinking of it, is
yeah.
all the meetings and all the different Zoom calls or anything
Mhm.
about it, it just showed how everyone just stepped up for it.
Yeah.
And that's a national example of that. Locally here, it's kind of the same thing.
mhm,
It really is. If we have one of our partners go down with an illness or sickness or something, everybody's there to try and help out. What do you need help with showings? What do you need help with realistics? Do you need help with food? I mean, all the different things, everybody seems to, she ain't kidding, it's one big family. And it's spread so far, so thanks for sharing.
yeah, and absolutely, and as I said, 2 years ago, so my daughter lost a child at 7 days old, and so, yeah, they rallied around and they did a lot of support for my daughter and her husband and during that time, so it's amazing. Mhm. So that is that, and then we have the KW Kids Can, and that's empowering young adults to unlock their greatest potential through self-development events and coaching events and scholarships, so that's wonderful too. And then we've got our diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is the equity part of this is, there was a bill, it was passed in 1968, and it's called the Fair Housing Act, and it made it illegal to discriminate against the sale, rental, and financing of housing based on race, religion, national origin, color, gender identity, and sexual orientation. So that we take very seriously. And there are, what's Julia's last name? Who really speaks to this? She's
All the one that teaches the CE.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I
she's been here and that's a wonderful, class to take as well, so. And, there's, she's not here today, yeah,
oh, yeah.
Garza, she is really, does a lot outside of, Keller Williams as well for those inclusion and that, so. And then we have cultural ambassadors, and I do have a friend of mine at a different market center who is a cultural ambassador for Keller Williams, which is, she does a lot for the communities, and it's really a great title. She's like, and that's about somebody who had a goal. She said, you know what? That's what I want to be. And I want to meet Mo Anderson, and I want to, be friends with Mo Anderson, and she worked so hard and being involved in the community, and she got invited to be a cultural ambassador. So she got to meet Mo. So those are a few things about our culture. So this is the MVVBP. Mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. Any questions on those? Oh, I feel my pages are all crazy and stuff here. I'm sorry, just a little break time while I look at my. Nope, I guess I'm good. So here's our mission. To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. So I don't know if you guys know. Anybody want to speak to legacies worth leaving? Okay, Savannah.
I guess, but I do have kids, what would I want to teach my kids and my family? I want to teach my kids to be their kids. What would I? Want them to do what they're doing? There's so much stuff, but
Right.
basically what most got have better.
Mhm. This is also speaking to our profit share. Who is familiar with our profit share that we have? Carrie, do you want to speak to that?
Yes, well, yeah, I don't know if people know the concept of the profit share. Or, well, not there, but okay, yeah. So we have, I know I just read that there's been some changes, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's basically if you bring someone on, you know, and they pay you, then you get I don't know how you, it's not like a percentage of what they make, but, you know, they share in the profits as long as.
They share in the profit of the market center.
Yeah.
So the money is never taken from, say, Grayson, say you named me as your sponsor. You're doing a ton of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, when the market center takes a portion of what you make off of a deal, that's put into a big pool. And the owners get a certain percentage of it, which is, I think, 51%. The other 49%, they give back to the market center, and they said, you know what, go ahead, split that up between the people who have made our market center profitable. So I would get a small percentage of that, et cetera, et cetera. And you can build that 7 people deep. And then you can build it as wide as you want to. The most important thing that I'm leading up to with Legacies Worth Living, that profit share is willable for 2 generations. So when I'm long gone, my children are going to benefit from my profit share. And when they leave, my grandchildren are going to benefit from that profit share. That profit share is going to continue. So that's a really amazing. No one has that. No one has that. Not your 401k, not your SEP, nothing like that. It's an amazing piece of opportunity that Keller Williams has developed and given to our families and, or whoever. You can leave it to KW Cares. You can leave it to KW Kids, whatever you want to do. It's, you know, but that's the biggest piece of that is, it's not that Grayson's doing like 20 million, 40 million. And I'm like, ooh, I'm like, okay, who do I need to share this business with to set my children up and to set my grandchildren up? Mhm. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And I don't think that's changed. So there were some changes. You're right, Carrie.
Yeah.
ALC, yeah.
Yeah, like if you know, you have to be here for so many years and that,
Mhm.
you know, you can't, like, you need to go over.
Yeah. You can retire
If you
from real
retire,
estate. That's,
Retire then.
nothing
yeah.
changes. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So share your experiences, share the business. If you've got friends that are getting in, bring them on. We have the best training of any real estate company out there by far. So, I mean, I've even had people call me and just say, okay, I'm sending my friend to you. They just got their license. They don't know where they want to be yet, but I know that they need to be at Keller Williams. Like, yes, they do. Yes, they do. We take a lot of pride in that. So how many of you are in command? Oh, first I want to get through this. So we've got the WI 4C 2 Ts.
Yeah.
It is a mouthful. I need a better acronym for that. But it means this is what we stand for. We are in a win-win or no deal. You know, your buyer side, if you're the listing agent, your buyer side, it's getting a little dicey. It has to be a win-win for everybody. We take a lot of pride in that. Integrity, always do the right thing. You do what you would want done to you. Customers, always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. That's your curiosity base. Creativity, ideas before results. So it's like, what can the big picture be here? Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all. And success results through people. So without looking, who knows the acronym?
They keep adding,
They do.
they keep adding. They've added 2 letters over the past 10 years.
I think so, they have, I think it was
Quality one.
equity,
Yeah.
and it's always been WI for
It usually
C.
only be 3 Cs.
Oh, was it? So
Yeah.
did they add creativity?
And so,
So WI, 4 Cs, 2 Ts.
ENS.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 Ts, ES instead of apostrophe S. So who all has command? You got your command? Okay, Terry, you don't yet, but after 10 hours, you're gonna have your command. 10 hours and maybe 7 days to get your license back. So in command, how many have the KW app downloaded on your phone? Okay. Okay, Tara, we'll work on that. Well, Drew will work on that with you, okay? It's pretty great, not only for you, but for your clients. So how many people have shared that app with other people?
Long time.
Okay, Grayson will show you how to do that. It's really simple. You just go to your app and you scroll down a little bit and it says share app, and then you can email it to people, you can text it to people, however you want to do it. Okay, and I always give them a little forewarning because it's a big HTTP, blah, 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 download my app. And I always say, this is not spam. You guys, this is really me. You know, I just thought you guys are looking for houses. You should probably have this because it'll show you what houses are out there and what their price is, no matter who. If it's Keller Williams, Edina Realty, Coldwell Banker, whoever has that listing, say you're in Maui and you want to know how much that house is up on the hill. You have that app, you hit location, whoop, there it pops up. 20.3 million. Oh, shoot, I forgot to bring my cash. So yeah, it works anywhere in the world.
So is it, I assume it's a similar to like,
say it.
It's really lovely.
Like, maybe I'm thinking, I guess I don't. I mean, I haven't used, because I use Market. I mean, I don't like their search thing.
Mhm.
I'm paying up for.
Oh, yeah, I think before we really had Command Robust, I was using that as well, and it just wasn't, it's just not as robust as this KW app, yeah. Mhm.
I needed to revisit that.
Yeah, yeah. It was really, I love it.
People like-
Savannah and I were just out driving, doing some stuff, and we were like, oh, how much is that house? Mhm. And we were like, and then she said, it's not coming up, and I go, oh, you gotta hit the pending.
Yeah.
That means it's pending. If we don't see it on there, it means it's pending, so you have to choose pending. In there as well, so
Yeah, usually we literally.
pretty much, yeah. We tool around a lot. Savannah and I are in the car a lot, like, oh, look at that one, what's that?
So it's still called Kelly.
And then sometimes I just go, oh, how do we not have that listing? What happened? We need to push those people over. Yeah, so, yeah, that sparks my competitiveness is when I see another sign go up in my neighborhood that's not mine. I go, they better be related to them. Saturday. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what's the app called?
It's
not Keller.
I just downloaded
I
it.
think
Yeah.
It's not KW.
KW, KW app.
It's a Dwight. Bob's book,
Oh,
right, KW.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't even have it.
Oh, you need to get it.
Oh, my goodness, shame on me.
And here's a little bit more about our culture. Red Day, KW Cares and KW Kids can. Okay, any ahas anybody wants to share? Anything you like in particular?
I have the app.
Well, yeah, Carrie has an aha, she needs the app.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's nice when you download this on your own, it will, it's branded to you then. So when you share it with somebody, it has your name on it. You're the person for them to connect. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how that woman, I don't even know how she got my app, but I had a lead come through. And she's looking for houses between what, 500 and 600,000? And it came through my command as a little thing and it said all these houses that she was looking at. And I'm like, oh my God, Savannah, there's a buyer for you. Go ahead, take her, you know. So we'll talk later about how that went, but again, I don't know how she got the app. She must know somebody.
What could
That
have
gave
gone
her
on
my
to
app.
the website, like if they found your KW, because I've gotten a couple
Yeah.
of KW leads, website leads, and I'm like, where'd these come
Yeah.
from, you know? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you don't get it.
You guys can also put that app and share it on your Facebook. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, Savannah, you have a question or a comment, or you did do that comment?
One thing you can do is like, if you are posting your listings on Facebook, what I've been trying to do for ours is. To copy the link from the app for the listing, because then what happens is when I copy and paste that link into the Facebook, if someone clicks on it to like learn more about the home. If they're on it for too long, if they then, have a spark thinking about other things through that link, they have to enter in their contact information, and that contact goes right into your trending database, and marks that. So.
That's awesome.
Just another way to, takes 2 seconds, another way to push up.
Well, I have this, manual.
Oh,
Is that the same?
so that's like actually.
That, oh, okay, so it's different.
Yep, so this, like, if I put every system for the website. and
Yeah.
This is.
Oh, it's white.
Yes. Yep.
So now we're gonna move into KW value, and MC stands for Market Center Value. So here's quite a few of the awards that Keller Williams has won. We gosh, was it another place in Germany just joined, got Keller Williams there. We saw that, not at Mega Camp, but at Family Reunion, which happens in February. So they just came on. Another one in South America. You guys, they're all over. We are the largest franchise in real estate. So top franchise for veterans, top female friendly company, top 500 franchises in 2022, world's best employers in 2021, America's best customer experience in 2022, America's best employers for women and new grads, best employers for diversity in 2021. You guys, there are so many of them. And I will say, in your travels, it's so great to find another Keller Williams office in another country. So I visited the one in Dublin, which was fantastic. So they just, in some countries, you used to have to be a solicitor or an attorney. They didn't have real estate. Over in the UK, it was all solicitors until, well, a little while now. But yeah, so now you can be a real estate agent over there. So now Keller Williams is in Glasgow and also in Dublin. So really, really fun to visit those offices. And so yes, by all means, whenever you're in your travels, find a Keller Williams office. You never know, you're going to probably meet a referral partner. I have done that so many times, and it's really lovely to meet people from other areas, even here in the US. I've got somebody that I work with in Texas. There was one guy that I met in 2020. We were still doing, when we were all shut down and everything, we were still doing our family reunion and our mega camps and stuff, but we were doing them online. And I connected with a gentleman that was kind of by San Francisco area, and he had a listed couple's house out there. They were really uncomfortably close to the fires that were happening. And he said, "You're so lovely. Can I send you these people? They want to move to Minnesota." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I call him and he goes, "So the last time I was in Minnesota was in 1976. Has it changed much?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, the Fauché is no longer our tallest building." So, but they were lovely. Cash buyers, 650,000. They didn't even see the house until the day after closing.
Oh,
I did it all by video. Showed them 2 houses, whatever. There you have it. They came. I wish they would have told me how tall they were.
the dock in the basement?
They did. They had to duck down in the stairwell to get to their basement. But they were very lovely about it because they turned around and said, "We should have told you that we're kind of tall people." And it's because when I walked down the stairs, I was like, doop, 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 there was no ducking, there was none of that, but the home is really lovely. So it was great. So you never know when you are talking to another agent. I would highly recommend you guys start talking to other agents when you get into command. You can start honing in on other areas. If you have friends that are, I just had a agent that's in the coaching program, and his very first thing that he even did, he didn't have a buyer first here, he didn't have a listing first here, he had a referral. He had some friends that were moving to the Seattle area of Washington. And he goes, oh, like that. And I said, you need to refer that out. You get 25% on that. And he goes, well, what do I do? And I said, here are some agents that I work with. I said, you start interviewing them. That's how you add value to your people. You start interviewing agents out there. And then your people interview the people that you've interviewed. And sure enough, his very first commission check was from his referral. They closed on a house there and he's like, oh my gosh. Said, you could do a whole business around just referring people. So lots of different ways. That's being creative and thinking outside of the box. Training and coaching, Connect and Connect Live. This is, so you'll see, I don't know if this example shows it, but when you get into your command, you'll see in your main command, it'll say command and then connect. So once you click on the connect, this is what will come up. So you can go back and do Ignite anytime. There's lots of people that have recordings up there of each session. Here's instructor-led training materials. There's so many things. There's a business planning clinic. This is what the red book looks like, the MREA that we were talking about. It's a personal perspective. So there's a lot of different areas that you can do, local and regional training, events. So family reunion is in February every year. Mega Camp is in August. Family reunion, they usually pick a nice warm place for us to go. This February, it will be in Las Vegas, and Mega Camp is always in Austin, Texas at headquarters. Keller Williams University, so we've got Ignite under that. We've got the Keller Williams University. That's a lot of training, so command training, you're gonna wanna get in there and do some training, you know, digging around in command. Then we've got KW Maps, and we have Bold. Bold is pretty intense. I love doing Bold, and every time it's available, I do it. But it is 8 week, it's 8 weeks, right? 8 weeks, and you go training for a whole day. It's usually Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and it's really lovely. I mean, you are doing your homework because you don't want to let your team down. And then Maps is, they have a big coaching. I mean, I have a Maps coach that he's just helping me be a better productivity coach. So it's really, really great. So Command is our technology. Command is your CRM. So it is your integrated end-to-end Keller Cloud platform for running and growing your business. Command will track everything for you as long as you put your information in there. So you've got to put your goals in there because it'll tell you how far or how close you are to your goals. Using this at a really high level is fantastic, but you are going to need to set some time to nurture that system to have it work at a high level. Some people just use it for a couple things. Savannah and I are still in the process of making this a little bit more robust for us. You know, Bill and Michelle, they're a team, so it looks a little bit different for individuals versus teams. You and your dad will be a team, so you'll want to get the training on that. Tara, you'll be on a team, so you'll get the training from Nora on that. Yeah, so, and then Carrie's an individual agent, so she uses that at a different level. And then we already talked about the Keller Williams app. That's what it looks like there. And that will actually, your command will feed into that. So it'll say, you know, you can see how many tasks are due today and what I need to do. And you can set up your tasks so you know who you're going to call every day too. And just look at your tasks and go, okay, I've got these 50 people I need to call today. As long as you're setting it up and putting tags in there, and you guys, it's a little bit advanced for you and probably could be overwhelming, but that's what we're all here for. And that's what it looks like. See, you can just tap on that and it'll show you the house. It'll show you the listing stuff and all of the information about that listing. I'm not really clear how to talk about this slide. Cause we don't have the numbers in there. So, but if we did, you would see year to date and month on month. So it would show you how many units we've closed, what the volume is, how many listings we took, listing taken in their volume, listings sold, the volume of those that were sold, contracts written, and what the volume is. The volume means the dollar amount, okay?
And if there were numbers in there, most of those numbers would be negative numbers at this current rate.
Mhm.
What
We're
the
just-
market is. Those units year to date from last year over this year are down.
Mhm.
Those volume might be up because the average sale price has gone up so much.
Mhm. Just a little bit different market. I think the best analogy somebody gave me is, or that I heard somebody say back here during something that we had, the fish aren't jumping in the boat anymore, so we need to go fishing. Which means you need to do your job. You need to lead generate. You need to do. I told Savannah, I said, I'm happy because now I get to do what I loved doing. And that was talking to people. It was having open houses. It was lead generating. I liked lead generating because I'm a high I, and you guys might not know what that is, but you will learn what that is. Means, I think D is a driver, I is an influencer, S is systems, and C is compliance. And all of us are one of those at some level. My D is about here, my I is here, my S and C are down here. So Savannah takes care of these things for me. That's about knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. It's okay to have the weaknesses, but who do you need to know to help you with those weaknesses? Either teach you to be better at those or to do them for you. Let's see here. So this is a little bit, again, you know, where we are in our market center, we have our own here as well too, that built on the Keller Williams one. We contribute, we do contributions, and we do our red day and the activities. And then important for you, these are the leadership team. So Zach Duckworth is our OP. Erin, who was in here earlier, she's our team leader. Dylan is our assistant team leader. He is the team lead in our Rochester office as well. So you'll see Dylan on Tuesdays here. Market Center Administrator, our MCA, you probably heard me say that before, is Ann Clarity. And Market Center Technology Trainer is Drew Peters. So if it's a tech question, yeah, I'm coaching you and you have a tech question, I'm gonna look at you with glassed over eyes and go, Drew? That is not one of my strengths, so yes, we call out Drew for that one. And then we do have ALC members, which is our Agent Leadership Council. Bill, are you on the ALC?
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, so they are your voice of this market center that voices out any concerns or ideas that you might have. And they're like the liaison to Keller Williams International. Okay. And you know, if that's something that you're interested in, I think it's about this time of year that we start looking or sending out invitations to people that, you know, to be on our ALC for 2024. And it's sent out to the top 20%. So do know that in the market center, you know, that might be something that you want to strive for. It's being in the top 20% if you enjoy being on a leadership council. Profit share and growth share. So this is our passive income, and we kind of touched on that a little bit. There's no financial risk, there's no legal risk, there's no down payment, and there's no phone calls. What? So when I'm 98 years old and I've done my job and I've shared with people, and they come on to Keller Williams and they're still working. I'm going to be, kicking up my heels at 98 with my great grandchildren, and I'm still gonna get that check in the mail until, and that happens. It's a direct deposit from International every month on the 21st. So that's our passive income. We call it the 401KW. It's our retirement. So any ahas from this section? Oh, good. Well, we're at the top of the hour. You guys want to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to go into KW resources next.
Hey, Michelle.
Oh my God.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Earlier you said something about the
Is this
business.
Carly?
This is Katie.
Oh, hi, Katie.
Hi.
How-
I'm good. Sorry,
Good.
I couldn't say much. I was driving and now I'm not driving, but so I just had a question about that business planning class that you said was from 8 to 4. Is that part of Ignite, or is that, would I have to miss a day of Ignite to go to that? Did you say it's October 4th?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out, because Bill is actually teaching that day, so we're trying to figure out where we can move that Ignite class so people can participate in the business planning clinic.
Okay.
Okay.
But either way, it's gonna be one or the other, right? Even if it's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Well, the business planning clinic is off-site, so it's over
Oh,
it's over at Cedars Hall in Northeast Minneapolis.
okay, that's what I was wondering, if that was what that was, because I remember getting an email about that. So, okay.
$9. So go on to the Friday email. And I think you can register through there.
And
If
you
that's-
said it, okay.
Yeah, if that's
Sure.
something that, again,
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, good. We're just cruising right through this. We're halfway done. Oh, kind of.
The next section is like.
Resources, then we've got your career vision, and then daily success.
Forget about the ahas.
Yeah, the aha at the end. Recap and aha.
So,
Right, well, individual and team, have you guys come up with your own vision, mission? Right now, like what you're doing with the other.
so look what I found when I set up a search, I downloaded the app.
Yeah, that's
Is that address Liquor Miller?
Yeah.
Why is it no photo available?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Is that weird? And I was like, oh, is that, this is, I live in Sundown.
Oh,
So. I looked.
the Friday before it was supposed to close.
Oh my God.
That's happening so much more right now.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, cause I'm like, I saw this like 2 months ago.
So here, just pull that 309, there's no photos.
No photo, I downloaded it.
Well, they should be here.
It's been on the market. I mean, yeah. So I don't know why it doesn't show, cause like this other one does, so it's not like none of them. So, yeah, I thought I'll set up a certain thing, like. I'll go into that one.
Yeah, make sure.
I mean, the MLS, I pulled it up on the MLS, cause I'm like, wait, what's that one, you know?
Yeah.
And then the price, the list price went up.
It did go up because
Because
of course we got here.
Yeah.
Right.
Very low, yeah. I know, I sold one, that same style in a different section, where I actually had, multiple offers, I had it, 212,000, but it didn't raise. So we ended up selling it at 25.
Okay.
So, I think you're. Oh, the little went crazy or the more? Oh, okay, right. Right, and then I would also, I found that, I don't know if it's remarks, but on the agent remarks, it says there's multiple offers received. Okay. So I don't think you want that. So I would delete this, I think you know, all of my debts. They have to like move this part, add this. So that was kind of confusing, I said, oh, you have multiple offers, you know, that was from Joel. Right. Yeah, I mean, the market, well, there's no inventory, so I got, I mean.
There's images on the MLS score and every other like sort of look at like the local competitions, even though you have to all investing. That's like hundreds.
So that doesn't look good, I mean, I just download the app and how already.
Yeah.
Those problems.
You can look out, yeah, for the one for case and 98.
On that.
Yes, pictures are perfect.
7791.
8798. You know why I say that? Because my grandson, they get little, he was probably about 4 or 5, you know, just kind of. He used to always say, and so it's right. And then he used to say, my brother used to say, the same, she always said, what she said. What she said. That's so funny. I called my daughter last night. And she's. Like, hey, buddies. Oh, Donna, come. It's like, it's right behind the ground.
Oh, that's good. It's so cute.
She's like, oh, that's terrible. Sometimes I don't want to be like, buddy. So we find out, oh no, your grandma again. I'm so excited.
Worst case scenario, it's 1 month.
Maybe we'll do it, tomorrow.
She's a big baby, so it could be. Could be. Mhm.
Sean, I email you right now. To see if you have-
Yeah, find out why that's in. Okay, so the next section is KW resources. So this is just kind of a breakdown of other things that Keller Williams has. So we've got a mortgage company. We have our worldwide, our Keller, so we have got Keller Williams, we've got Keller Williams Worldwide, we've got a mortgage company, we have a managed company, covered company, and offers company. I have used Keller Mortgage before. I have not. We do have a concierge as well that is not on there, and I have done the classes for that too. So. Well, the wheel kind of explains it. Or I can't speak too much. I think it's kind of self-explanatory, I would suspect. Drew, are you listening? Managed covered offers, I know that they came in and spoke to us about the offers. Does anybody remember that? Keller offers?
That was so long.
It was long ago. And Keller covered, that is probably insurance.
It's a whole, what, isn't it, is it home warranty or insurance? I don't know, it's been a while, and I know that Keller Mortgage hasn't changed.
Keller Mortgage has changed a little bit, but they were fantastic when I used them. So, yeah, they,
Just purchased my own home, so they've got more back.
oh, that's good. They were so bogged down. I mean, when they first came, I think a lot of us went, oh, let's use them, because they were offering some really great incentives to buyers. And, I think they just got really bogged down. So that's good that they've got some support now. Keller Manage, I would suspect that's probably more property management maybe. But do know that you can always look and see what we have. And then we've got these communities too, which is fantastic. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, KW Commercial, which a few people in the office are part of KW Commercial. KW Land, is Kevin part of Land?
So
Oh, okay. KW Luxury, I think Kim Zeiton, there's quite a few people that are, yeah, that are luxury. You have to be in luxury, you need to do 750,000 or more 4 transactions in 24 months. To get an invitation to do KW Luxury. KW Military, there's KW New Homes, KW Sports and Entertainment. I was part of that. I have decided not to be part of that right now. And then the KW Young Professionals. So, Grayson, that might be something that you want to look into too. It's a great networking opportunity for young professionals locally. I think that age cutoff is 40 or 50.
40 or 45.
40 or 45. Okay, I was trying to push it a little bit. Savannah, but-
Okay, I'm all.
Yeah, where's the one for old city of-
Yeah.
Right, like,
I see some discrimination.
I do too. I'm feeling like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so there is also KW Planner. So if anybody is interested in that, it's about planning. So we've got Ted Daly, who is licensed in our office. He is really, that is his one thing. He is referring business out and just doing KW Planner, which is really, he's a CPA by trade. He used to be one of our senators here in Minnesota. But he,
Oh, I know that. Oh,
yep,
I
Ted.
know.
Mhm.
Oh.
So so reach out to him if you want to figure out like your planning of your business and financials and things like that. He's really honing in on that. And he's also doing classes, virtually and stuff for that. So daily.
I
Mhm.
think it's EALY.
EALEY.
EY. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, so there is more than 8, but I love seeing this grow. It's really fantastic. The sports and entertainment is really fun. I'm super bummed out. There's some Newbin brothers on the Gophers, and they had reached out and said, hey, can you work with these guys and find a place for them to live, but I wasn't able to do the rental aspect of it, so like, yeah, we can't do that here, so. But yeah, they're doing really well. I think they did great this last Saturday, those brothers that are playing for our Gophers now football. Yeah, so. Well, there is, yeah, and KW Sports and Entertainment too, so that also means musicians. We're pretty big, Minnesota's really big on their artists and musicians and producers and stuff, so. So if that's something that you wanna do, I know that that one costs $199 a month to belong to. I think most of these do cost something to belong to.
Yeah, I've never heard of like something.
I haven't heard of the KW New Homes until just now, so. Oh, you did, you know, can you speak to it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you do. Mhm. So if any of these strike your fancy, you know, certainly get on there and see what it all entails and what it could mean for you. In Connect. Mhm. Any ahas from this section? This is a pretty brief section. I know, right? So a lot of this is, you know, spark your career. This is our first step. It's a really broad, you know, Erin and I speak to Keller Williams as a whole and moving forward in your business, so. So this next part will bring us to your career vision. I like the eyeball. This is a pretty good exercise. Do you guys have this in your book?
Yes.
So you could mark down, today's date, 9/11/2024. This might be something that if you're doing like the mindset stuff, this might be some affirmations that you do. Affirmations do work quite well. In bold, we used to, I guess we didn't do it this last time, write a letter to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Did we write the letter?
No, we didn't write the letter.
What?
I know,
Why?
dumb, right? Like we should have wrote a letter. So we used to write a letter to ourselves when we sat in bold and where I am a year from now. And then the bold instructor takes them down to international and then they mail it out to you 1 year later. And it was crazy how I would look at my letter and go, that happened, that happened, that happened. I don't have a house in Scotland yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a good idea to do these things, you know, like, you're like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yes, I am gonna make $100,000.
Yeah,
1
just
year
put
from
it
now,
out
I'm
there.
gonna look in my thing and say, yes, I made $100,000. I made 200, whatever it is. I made $50,000 in my real estate career, whatever that is for you. You're helping others live their dream of owning a home because you are focused on helping them get what they desire. I mean, I live by that because that's my goal. My goal is not the other stuff. It's like, how many people can I help this year? That's how I want to look at it. Some people are like, how many transactions do I need to, how many people do I need to help this year? You're building the foundation and momentum for your entire career and gaining relationships and experiences and the income you desire. Your family and friends are so proud of your successes and are constantly referring business your way. That one, the third one there strikes a little bit for me because I had a very dear girlfriend who was a real estate agent and it was very hard for her, but she wasn't doing what she needed to do. And when I told her that I got my license, she said, oh, good luck. That's not going to be something that you're going to be successful at. To how hard is that to hear one of your really good friends say that to you, right? And so it was like, well, I'm not going to listen to that. I know who I am. She clearly doesn't know who I am. And all that did was fuel me to go, hold my beer. If I drank beer, hold my beer. And we were at where I was doing consulting, that's where I was working, and she looked at me and she said, "The first thing I need to do is apologize." And I said, "Please don't apologize, you were my fuel." And she said, "What?" And I said, "What you said to me, I took to heart." I said, "Yeah, it hurt. However, all I could remember every day I woke up was how she didn't think I could do it because she had tried it and wasn't successful." I'm like, "Oh no, I'll show you can be successful. You just got to roll up your sleeves and do the work." So, yeah, if there's somebody like that in your life, embrace it, change that mindset around it and just go, "Oh, I got this. Don't worry about it. You do what you need to do over there. I'm doing what I need to do over here." And don't you know, just last week, "Can you help me find a townhome she's renting right now?"
Oh,
Mhm.
oh my gosh.
And I said, "Sure, I can. Just go ahead and sign this paperwork right here."
Extra.
Right. There's a retainer fee. So I would invite you guys to sit and do that. I would also take whatever time you need to, get yourself a nice quiet space, build a fire, put the dog at your feet. If you don't have a dog, rent somebody's dog, put it at your feet and really start thinking, what do I want out of this career? What do I want out of this change? You're doing this change for a reason. Why are you doing it? And there is a big reason that you're doing it. That big reason can change too. What's the big reason right now? Do you guys have this in your books where you can write what it is? And okay. So I would invite you to, at some point, if it's not tonight or later today or, whenever, write down that amount in the middle there. And then when that's achieved, all the things that you can do with that. Is it bringing your family to Disney? Is it donating money to a cause?
Is that number?
Yeah. That 364, no. You just put in, yep, you just put in yours. Yep, you just put in yours. And then all the things that you could do with that amount of money. Pay off my mortgage, pay off student loans, pay off the car. Save for your dream vacation. Help your kids with a down payment on their home. Whatever that looks like. To achieve success, you need motivation and inspiration for doing it. And this is your big why. You're going to continually hear your big why. What is your big why? Why are you doing this? And there's no judgment. It is, you're doing this to pay your kids' college. You're doing this because you need a new car. You are doing this because you just want more money. You're doing this for financial freedom. You're doing this because you want a jet ski. Whatever it is, it can change all of the time. So here's a thing. This is where I love this part. This is going to be a new book for some of you, but I love the book Profit First. Carrie, Bill, Michelle, Savannah, have you guys read Profit First or at least listened to it on Audible? I will tell you what, this book changed my entire financial outline and my entire financial where I said today. So the quick and dirty of it is really easy to listen to. Profit First. Mike, it starts with an M, little lot, check or something, yeah. So. Commission. Because you are a 1099, you are going to be responsible for a lot of things. That if you were a salaried employee, an hourly employee, the employer takes care of all this stuff for you. now that you are on your own and you're doing your own thing, this is what he says you need to do with your commission check. The first thing, 10% goes into an account with legal profit. The next thing you do, 30% goes into an account. The next is 15% that goes to operating expenses. That's gonna be signs, it's gonna be Supra, it's gonna be your kitchen and card, it's going to be all of those things, operating expenses for your business. And then the final 45% is put into your pocket, that is what the owners pay. Every dollar I make.
So do you have like 4 bank accounts?
I have, different bank accounts. I've got these two are in, a business account. And then these two are in a personal. And they're divided up, checking. The savings. And wallet. So what I do is I make sure that these taxes go into my savings account, which accrues dividends. And make sure that my profit.
So that 10% profit,
That is my young spending.
all
That
that's
is me going to Africa. That is me going to Scotland twice a year. That is whatever I want to do with that. That's me taking care of things at the house, new sliding glass door, new windows, do whatever. My profit, I can do anything with. I can take all of that money and put it into a SEP, I can put it into my IRA, I can put it into whatever I want. This is my profit. And yep, some of those checks were $7.31, and some of them are $5,600. Which is depends on what the commission check is. And you're not just leave it, and then when my brother and sister-in-law said, hey, you wanna go to Africa and go on a safari and see the arrow and tree? I said, well, yes, I do. And it's gonna be expensive. I don't care. This is my money that I just do everything I want to. Adventures, experiences. Doesn't matter. I clean my way. That's the point of life. I look at it like that, but I'm also making dividends out of that as well. Maybe it's being. And I thought, well, I got it up.
who do you use on your bank that has?
I have Bridgewater Bank.
It's a local Bridgewater. Oh, yeah.
So.
I did something like similar, I didn't know about this book, and I didn't put it back in film, the Friday evening.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody will let me-
Yeah, I mean,
And transfer the money.
yeah.
And in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I had to borrow money, but I made sure that I paid back, when I got my next commission check or whatever. So there's that, but that's just how I did it.
Are you able to set it up here that 10% goes into one account?
No, I just have it deposited into my business account. And then from there, I see that it's deposited in, and then from there I go and I just transfer it out. Yeah. So, where does your commission dollars go? The other agent, your market center, business expenses, taxes, and then your take home. So with that commission check, the other agent's already been paid and your market center's already been paid, so.
So, yeah.
Oh, this is it dwindling down. So when you sell your girlfriend's house and you get a $10,000 commission check and she goes, have a great time with that. That's money out of my pocket. It's like, well, let me just tell you where that all went. That went to Uncle Sam, and that went to my market center, and that went to my operating expenses and my healthcare and my dental. Thanks for the $2,500 that I got from you. And she's like, sorry. Can you tell my girlfriends are harsh? They're very honest. So this is a little example of what, an income goal might be.
So I
Take a
don't think-
picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got the
Take a
guy's
picture.
last name for the book, Mike. Mike Woolwood, M-I-C-H-A-L.
What is it?
M-I-C-H-A-L-O-W-I-C-C.
Holloway.
Yeah.
CC?
D.
Oh, it's D.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And he
Lock
looks
him?
really
if
young.
you email him, he'll answer you.
Oh,
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He's like
guy.
super young.
Mhm. Well, he's probably a little bit older than that picture, but yeah, I think his kids are all grown now.
Oh,
Dollar royalty here, that seems awfully high.
It does, doesn't it?
I thought we cut ours back.
We did, these are actually, we're at 15,
Yeah.
not 30. Mhm.
Yeah.
And business expenses, like that's pretty high too. I mean, if you're, you know, really, if you're an individual agent, you're not spending that a year. No, so. Oh,
yeah, the company knows.
mhm. But if you're doing 20 transactions in a year, you're making a good living. So this is where you might want to jot in some of your own numbers. This must be a nut page that you guys have. And here's the deal, if you need help with that, I'll certainly help you with it. Okay? Because we'll break it down. I have my one board broke down. I know exactly how much money I need to make every year to live the lifestyle that I choose to live. And I have it all broken down. 8 weeks of vacation I give myself, so I know that I'm only working X amount of weeks, 48 weeks a year. And then out of those 48 weeks, how many appointments I need, et cetera. I need 2.15 appointments a week. And if that's all I focus on, the rest of it I don't need to worry about because it all just follows, right? All I know is I need 2 appointments this week, maybe 3 appointments next week for that 0.15, right? So. How's it going? Any ahas, Erin?
Wrapping up.
We're getting there, yeah. You know, of course, I have to put my profit thing in there from Mike M. I love that book. It's super easy. You guys download it on Audible if you have it. It's really fast to read through. And he'll tell you his story. He was basically completely broken. They were sitting at dinner in the beginning of the book, but they're sitting at dinner and his daughter overheard how terrible it was. And she looked at him and said, "Daddy, I have some money in my piggy bank if you need it." Boom. Completely changed his mindset around that. So, daily success system. What do you guys suppose that is? Yeah. Really, you guys really, if you break it down, really simple things to do every day. Really simple. How many? 10 conversations a day. If you think about it, how many conversations do you guys think you have a day? More than 10?
Stop on the way to the office to get gas or grab coffee, there's 2, right? I mean, it's going back to that E to P, entrepreneurial and purposeful, just being very purposeful throughout your entire day and looking for opportunities to be able to have a conversation, add a contact, looking for reasons to send a handwritten note. I mean, there's so many different reasons to send a handwritten note.
Who's big on social media here? We'll get good on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this can be little contests that you run. Go get a $5 gift card from Caribou or Starbucks. Put it on social media and say, hey, you guys, I'm in a contest. I'm gonna put you in a drawing. All you need to do is DM me with your contact information. I'm doing real estate. DM me with your contact information. I'll put you in a drawing for you know, a prize, whatever. It can be a $5 card. It can be it can be anything. So that's how you're gonna get your conversations, contacts, handwritten notes. I love this. When was the last time you got a handwritten note in the mail? Yeah, I make sure that I handwrite a note for all of the people that have worked with me on the anniversary of their home. So I do all of my cards at the beginning of the year and I put stamps on them and I just put them in slots January through December, and then the beginning of the month, I put them in the mail.
For what other anniversary?
Yeah, their home anniversary when they
Oh.
bought. Mhm. Yeah,
Good to do it ahead of time, so you don't have. to-
absolutely,
Oh,
yes.
shoot.
Mhm. I think it was a couple months ago, I was like, oh, oops, I forgot to put these out. But good thing nobody had a home anniversary the first week. I'm like, whoa, they will never know. And then the 10-5-1 social media engagement. Erin?
Yeah, so you wanna make sure, like Michelle said, that you are, see, the 10 is.
10 likes.
Yeah, 10 likes, 5, is it 5 engagements? 5 engagements, for every social media post.
And then one
So-
post, right?
Right, and then one post, sorry. So you're wanting to go on your friends list and like at least 10 of their posts, make at least, 5 comments, and then one social media post of your own.
Give them the thumbs up or the heart. Mhm.
And that's super easy, like you could literally do that in less than 5 minutes.
I do that before my eyes are even open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Done that.
Also, going back to the social media part, too, you can set up and command your social media for the week or the month or whatever. You can get that all set up prior and just schedule it when it's gonna go out, so you don't have to do it every day. You can just get to your likes and comments. So your posts are going out. Okay. Here's that we take very seriously, is the do not call list. You can get in a lot of trouble for calling people that are on the do not call list. So make sure that you're very aware of that. How many of you guys are on the do not call list? I am.
I don't
I
know.
feel like I get calls all the time.
I am. I still get calls. But the minute I say I'm on the do, and they're, boom, they hang up. Mhm. So. I'm friendly, don't put, I just don't want those calls.
Yeah.
Bill's like, powerful conversations get results. Lead generation, uncover motivations. We talked about that earlier, getting to what are they motivated about? Why are they selling? Why are they buying? Identify their objections. Learn to talk through those and have conversations around those. Close deals. Well, we all want to close deals, like 20 a year, of course, or more. Speak in terms the customer understands. If you're using a lot of acronyms and things like MLS, well, what is MLS? Who knows what that is? What is it?
Multiple listings.
Yep, multiple listing service. What is SPAR? Yes. Mhm. What is, CMA? Hey, can you run some comps for my house? Oh, sure, I'll run a CMA. They're like, no, I just asked for comps. Well, CMA is comparable market analysis. So. And build confidence. Also, the speak in terms the customer understands, it's the whole mirror matching with your client. They lean forward in their chair, you lean forward in your chair. They lean back and they got their leg like this, you lean back and have your leg like that. You just mirror their nonverbals. And then build confidence. That's here in the office. We're here to support you and help you build confidence, but there's also some homework for you guys to do on that too. What might that homework be if you're building your confidence by yourself? What might you do?
talking about conversation.
Mhm. Reading through some of these things and becoming very familiar with it, so you can speak to.
YouTube is great too, videos.
Yeah. Purpose and benefits of conversations. Did you find everything you were looking for? How many check out of a place and they say that to you? Did you find everything you were looking for? No, I didn't. Oh, let me find somebody to show you where that is. Go ahead, look around and please let me know if I can help. Where might you say that? Open house? I see you admiring that big screen TV. Are you looking to get one for the big game this weekend? Carrie, you need a new computer.
Oh my gosh.
What
I'm
is
trying
that?
to log on to order this book and I get
Oh.
some porn site or something. I'm like, oh, what? Like, I don't know what to do.
What's the name of the book, Erin?
Profit first. I don't know if Mike went into a different area. It was all about profit.
Yeah, profit first.
I know, like, what?
I never have that. I'm like, I don't even know. I've never
Sounds like you
seen.
might have a virus.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah.
What happened? Run away, it says back to safety. Oh my gosh. I don't
Sorry.
know what to do.
I found that a little too funny.
Yeah.
No. I mean, again.
You should probably get out of that.
I can't, I'm trying
to.
I would just shut the computer.
Yeah,
off.
shut it off. Drew, are you listening?
Like,
Here's got a virus.
Harry's got something happening right now.
geez, I don't know what's that happening. I was trying to go on Amazon Smile to order.
Good.
Book.
So your sphere, so often you'll hear us say something like SOI, which means sphere of influence. Those are the people who already know you, like you. Some love you. But those are your sphere. Those are the first people you're gonna wanna talk to. They already like and love you. And they trust you. Those are the ones you wanna be reaching out to. Catch your sphere on the move. Likelihood of a move every 7 to 10 years. So make sure, once you're in the business, you're really marking it and going, okay, I gotta stay in contact with them. Gotta send them handwritten notes. I have to send them, oh, stalk them on Facebook. Oh, congratulations on that baby. I'm so excited. When can I stop by? You know, and
That's
see the
where
baby.
social media really comes in handy, right?
Mhm.
Because when there's.
You know what's happening in their life and they're like, gosh, how do they know that? It's part of your job to know what your people are doing, right? To know what your kingdom is doing. And bored. If you don't know what to talk about this. Talk about their family, talk about their occupation, recreation, and their dreams. We do a lot of scripting around that in Bold. And any ahas?
What's one thing that you guys are excited to take away from today and go implement right away? Or do better? Do it.
I like this. I wanna learn more about, magic mites. Of splitting up the profits as they come in and just setting them into their own accounts. That they're.
Yeah.
Setting them together.
Yeah.
So it's- the taxes are there when you have to pay.
Yep.
That it's all.
You already know what to expect.
Yeah. So I will tell you is that, that 30% is, it's magic to put that away and know that it's sitting there. There is no stress, whether you're paying quarterly or in the beginning when you're paying yearly on those taxes, there's no stress. You have that money set aside. So you're not like, oh my God, where am I gonna come up with $10,000? Where am I gonna come up with $22,000? A really good girlfriend of mine is a bankruptcy attorney. Who do you suppose number one and number two people were that were filing bankruptcy? They were number two,
Who's our one?
doctors and lawyers.
Really?
Mhm,
For what?
filing bankruptcy.
Because they have the money to hire all the
Well-
financial people who can give them all the ins and outs.
Well, they're probably getting, or maybe they'll get sued or.
Yeah. Number two, real estate agents filing bankruptcy. And a lot of it, what she saw was because they weren't putting taxes aside. They were taking that commission check, say it's $10,000 commission check. Oh, let me go do this, or let me go do that. You have to be responsible with that. And again, unless you have insurance some other way, insurance is very expensive and mine changes every year. Every year it changes. Last year I was at $664 a month for medical. I see the doctor one time a year. So operating expenses. Mhm. Yeah. So I wasn't happy about that. So then I told my CPA, I go, well, you need to figure out a way that I'm not paying that. He goes, well, then just don't get it. Like, dang. Mhm. But they do have, you know, like, you can go through UCare, I think it is, or Minsure or something like that, and it's based on, they just tell you, and that's why it changes every year, is some, it changes, just depending on what your bottom line was the year before. Or your guesstimate of what it is.
Well, yeah, well, it keeps going up every year.
Mhm. Mhm.
$6,200.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mhm. So, ahas to achievement. How has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets were new?
I really liked, the accountable piece, the concept that it's okay to miss something or not have something done, but just to come back and ask. I would really
Yeah.
like that, rather
Mhm.
than.
Right. And I will say, I have a MAPS coach and we meet on Fridays. And I did not have my homework done for the last week, but it was Labor Day weekend. But it was. But I was with my grandchildren, and he said, so is there a pattern growing here? Or what is it? And, you know, having a coach, it's like, no, I need to be honest here. It wasn't because it was Labor Day. It's because I didn't know how to move forward and I didn't ask. So I sat there going, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. So that came out and he was able to coach me around that. So that's a big deal, is be honest. No one cares. The only person, and we drilled this down, he said, who are you hurting by not getting this done? Why do I want to keep doing that to myself? I don't. So just do it. Get it over with. It doesn't need to be perfect. Again, no one, what does that even mean? I don't really think that there's any such thing. How do you feel differently? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today?
For me, the income goal and also your, how you wrote it, like step by step, where you, what, determine how many full appointments you need per day.
Mhm.
That was pretty big for me. That really changed. That kind of put everything in more
Reasonable.
perspective.
Yeah,
Reasonable
it's
perspective.
reasonable. Because if you look and say, if I only need 2 appointments this week and I have 2 on Monday night, what if I can get another one?
Yeah.
I'm ahead, right? It's kind of like what Erin was saying, if she can get her stuff done in January and February when everybody else is snoozing, because they are, it sets you up for an amazing year. There's no pressure, right? Because the rest of it just follows. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take? You know, can I answer that one? Okay. Have some grace with yourself too. We keep spinning around in this. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, so many of us grew up and this job has to be done right. You have to run this right. You have to skate this right. You have to shoot that puck in that goal exactly like this, you know. What? Says who? Wayne Gretzky figured out a different way to do that, right? I mean, there's always something different to do. So have some grace around that about your behaviors and moving forward. And what actions will you take? Just the little things. Write 1 note today. Write 2 notes today. Write 10 notes today and they can all say the same thing, just addressed to different people. Right? What tools, models, or systems will you use? How will they make you accountable? So I know you guys are, you guys aren't, well, you're in command now, but Tara, you will be probably by the end of this week. Like how I'm putting that on you. The more I subliminally do that, you know, you'll go home and get your 10 hours done. Prepare for your next session, session 2, embrace your job. Who's teaching that one? Oh, Jason Gorman. So yeah, he's got a pretty big team here. That'll be good. So that's tomorrow from 9 to noon. So other ahas or anything, otherwise I can give you guys 7 minutes of your lives back. So what will you do today? Is it clear what you're gonna do today? I would, for sure, we can go back and do 10 phone calls. Just to friends. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them I'm 10 hours away. I'm so excited. I just got licensed. I'm waiting for my license to get back from the state. This is what I'm doing. Carrie, call 10 people that you worked with last year and just said, hey, I was just thinking about you. I saw this and I was just thinking about you. I do that all the time, you guys. I send texts to people that I'm just like, oh, they pop in my head and I'm like, oh, they're like, oh my gosh, how have you been?
Yeah.
You know, my old clients, come on over. I just painted my coverage. You have to see it. Oh, old clients, Michelle, I'm getting married. Can you want to come to my wedding? Absolutely, I do. You know, I always go, oh, that's what I say. No, are you expecting a gift from me? Of course, it's always awesome. But yeah, I was just invited to a wedding earlier this summer and don't you know, my brother's looking and my mom wants to sell. Oh, okay. Oh, good thing I came to your wedding.
Yeah, the one, yeah.
You know, and once that starts happening, you guys, it's just like, unless you love cold calling, like my one friend does, it's good to get referrals. And that's how you stay in this, you know, for the long haul. You just gotta keep reaching out to those people. Just keep giving the love and they'll give it right back. Because if you're not top of mind, they're gonna go with somebody else. Yeah, I just had a girlfriend, I just saw her on Saturday night and she's like, oh, she said, I wanted to use you, but they really pressured me at a new build that they'd give me X amount of dollars to finish the basement. And I'm like, I said, that's fine, you know, whatever. I said, but now you're represented by them and their fiduciary duty is to the builder, not to you. She said, I knew it. She said, I had a sick feeling in my stomach when I was signing those papers that I should have called you. And I said, it's all right. I'm still here. You know, I just won't be representing you. Yeah, so.
Yeah, your friend, all that. Tell her.
But yeah, I mean, it can just happen that quickly. As the other agent, some people, he didn't even know, reached out to him and said, we need to find an agent. This, you know, whatever it was in them that sparked an intuition, we need an agent.
Never, what I've learned is never burn your bridges. You know, if you really want to tell somebody off for not doing this or that, they may, years later, they may come back.
Yeah.
It's happened to me.
Yeah, I think there's a gal, a luxury agent in Santa Monica that I connected with last year. And we talk about, she does, you know, Santa Monica, 5 million is like our 500,000 to them out there, so. But we were talking about a luxury house that I have here, and I'm like, I don't even know anymore what to do. As far as marketing and stuff, and well, now I forgot what I was even gonna tell you about that, so.
That was like around your birthday.
Yeah, so I was just so tired of everything, and she goes, you can fire them. And, I have done that before, but she said she fired a $20 million. She said because their lines were fuzzy as to what her job was. It wasn't for a lot of the things they were asking of her, so she fired them. But kept in touch with them, didn't burn any bridges, just sent, cards every once in a while and stuff, and they didn't use her for a listing and a buy, but they both passed away, and in their will, they said she will be the real estate agent for this family, and listed all of these people. Lots of deals in that will.
Oh, so for multiple different,
For multiple properties.
I'm in two people's wills.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I was like, what? They can do that? And she was like, apparently. She said, because I've been doing a lot of really nice homes in the area. Like, maybe I should move to California. I don't know how this shuts off, but. True.
I'm gonna go see if I can get my, laptop, it moves in pockets.
Oh, yeah. So as far as today goes, yeah, probably 10 conversations before tomorrow, before Jason, teaches at 9 AM tomorrow. 10 conversations, write at least one handwritten note to somebody. And, put, 10 contacts in your contacts or update contact, if that's something that you need to do. And I think if you just do little bits like that every day, the magic comes. The magic. Oh,
Weird.